So this is new. I've broken news before, but it hasn't come in a video. And I mean, I did tweet this out, but I can confirm that John Johnson is signing with the LA Rams. He was drafted in the 3rd round by the Rams in the 2017 draft, the same draft with Cooper Kupp. And yeah, this is pretty great news. He was at camp yesterday. I just confirmed with a source within the organization. And yeah, here we are, super early. I love this this pickup. I was told very early on in the process that this was very likely, and it was more likely than bringing back Troy Hill. I like this move because I think right off the rip, you get to see early on throughout training camp, okay, you're getting guys like Quentin Lake and Rusty East, and even, this year's late round pick, Jason Taylor II, some playing time. But I like this a lot because, at the end of the day, I think having Jordan Fuller there is great, but this team is going to need some more leadership, I think, in the back end of the secondary. I think Fuller adds that. I think Ernest Jones is going to be a leader in that defense, and of course Aaron Donald. But you can never have too many leaders, and so I'm a really big fan of this move. I like this a lot, and I think the way this works basically right now is that the Rams they go out and they get better in the secondary. They go out, they get somebody who knows the defense, someone who knows the culture, someone who knows the coaching staff, a familiar face. They get a fan favorite. I think there's a lot to like here with going out and getting John Johnson III. And the thing about John Johnson is that, look, I don't think he ever wanted to leave, guys. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure it wasn't that long ago. He was on Instagram. And, he was talking about, obviously when he was a free agent, he was talking about how he wanted to come back, and the Rams just never, gave him a contract. So love this move for John. I thought he was, fantastic with the Rams. They've had a bunch of safeties that you really admire. I mean, going back to O.J. Atogwe, in the recent, they've had him. They've had Roddy McLeod, LaMarcus Joyner, Taylor Rapp went over to Buffalo. So, I mean, typically speaking, they don't pay this position. So he goes to the Browns, and, here he is, and he's back with the Rams. So this is great. Very excited to see this. And I would imagine your starting safety room is going to be those two guys. I think at the end of the day, it makes a lot of sense. And so, yeah, they basically decided to make this move. I don't think this means anything. It's nothing against Quentin Lake. It's nothing against Russ East. But I think, this team, a lot of people would say, okay, no one is going to care about this team this year, right? Like, no one cares. Like, they're not going for a Super Bowl. And I just don't think that's true. Okay, I don't think that's true. At the end of the day, I think this is a really good move for them. I'm just going to say that right now. I think that, getting another leader in there, getting a guy that's familiar, getting a guy that has done what he has done, somebody that's a playmaker, somebody that can cover the George Kittles in the division, somebody that can, come up and make the tackle, somebody that has a nose for the football. This is John Johnson that I'm describing. And so, I think this is kind of a no-brainer here, and this is somebody that I've teased, especially in our Discord, that it was likely. Like, this really was something that I had been monitoring for a while, and I've been, in contact with about this, and, sure enough, it ends up coming through. And, this is good. I like this pickup, and I think yesterday, I touched base and I just asked around because you guys were blowing up my DMs like, hey, John Johnson was at training camp yesterday. Like, I saw him. Like, he signed autographs. So what's the deal here? What up? And so I looked into it, and there was nothing in that moment. And then, later on throughout the day, like really late, I got the go ahead that this was happening. So This is a pre-planned live stream. Had it all set up and everything. Really excited to do something like this because normally we don't get the exclusive right on our live stream, although we have done that before. We got the exclusive, during the draft when Alexis and I were doing our Downtown Rams live draft stream. We got the exclusive about Stetson Bennett and Davis Allen and Warren McClendon. I think Puka Nacua we also broke. So we broke a few of those picks before it was announced on TV and everything. So, this is what it's all about, guys. This takes years to get to this point where we can actually break stuff on a live stream. But, here we are. And it's because you guys, we continue to get bigger and people start trusting us more. And, that's really what happens. So this is, really cool stuff. I don't know what number he's going to wear. I believe 43 is currently occupied. So, I think that's the one thing for those of you out there who like the whole, the fashionistas. They care about the more aesthetics, if you will. I couldn't really tell you if he's going to wear 43 again or not. I think there's a chance that he does. There's also a chance that he doesn't. I'm currently looking up right now who is wearing 43 because it's escaping me. I believe it is a safety. I believe it's the safety from Florida, if I'm not mistaken. And it is. It's Rashad Torrance II. So we'll see if Rashad Torrance is going to get a bag or something to switch numbers. That would be kind of funny. But, that's how the NFL works. So I don't know if he's going to wear number 43, but what I will tell you is that this is somebody who, believe it or not, you might not even realize this, John Johnson is 27 years old, guys. He is still, while he has a lot of experience because he started at age 22 in 2017, he's played in a Super Bowl. He does have a lot of experience there. This is a guy who, let's be honest here. He's played 6 years in the NFL and he's only 27 years old at a position where, he could play for a while. Eric Weddle came out of retirement, 2 years out of retirement, comes back to the NFL, and he slides right in there in the playoffs and gives them a decent run. This is a guy that has 12 career interceptions. He's played 86 games, including starting 80 of them. He's had 41 pass breakups, 4 forced fumbles, 2 fumble recoveries. He's had a sack. He's not a guy that you really are going to see a lot of production there, but 512 tackles over the course of his career. So what you're getting here is still a good player. Say what you will. I know there are probably a lot of people that thought he was in his 30s, but he's 27, guys. So I don't know what the details of the deal have yet to come out. But what I can tell you is that, yes, he is signing with the Rams. I was confirmed that late last night. And I was going to go live last night, but I was like, we'll just wait it off. We'll just wait it off. We'll do it in the morning. And I'm glad we did. So, yeah, I believe it is a good signing. I'll be answering questions too, guys. If you want to throw questions in the bottom there, I'll be answering questions. But, yeah, feeling pretty good about this one. And, again, it kind of goes to show you, you talk about the move, and we brought this up on the show. Ahkello Witherspoon, right? You go out, you get Ahkello Witherspoon. He's starting, okay? He's starting. He's going to be good this year, I believe. He adds a little bit of length that they didn't really have actively or maybe trust actively on the boundary. So you have him. You go out and you get a guy like, Sony Michel. He retires. You go out and get Royce Freeman. These aren't pickups. Like, the guys that they're getting, like a DeMarcus Robinson, are not pickups for a team that's tanking. It's not pickups for a team that doesn't want to win. These are guys that are experienced that want to win. And so, I think by adding John Johnson, it's like, can we stop it now? Can we stop the nonsense? Like, the guy wants to win. Like, the Rams want to win. And so, yeah, I really like this move. I'm very excited about it. And, we'll see what ends up happening. I think when you look now at the depth chart, the Rams definitely look better. Let's be honest here. Today, when he signs his deal, they're going to be a better football team. Once he signs on the dotted line, they're a better football team. Boom. So you look at that secondary now. You got Akello Witherspoon. You got Darion Kendrick. You got Kobe Durant in the star role. You got Russ Yeast, Jordan Fuller, Quentin Lake, Jason Taylor II, and now you have John Johnson going to that. I think John Johnson and Jordan Fuller are back starting like they did in 2020. Russ Yeast and Quentin Lake, who got some decent playing time last year. I think they'll both be vying for some playing time. This is a 3-safety league now. That's something I can't stress enough. So these guys are going to get an opportunity. That's really what it comes down to. So if you're worried about the development of a Russ Yeast, you're worrying about the development of Jason Taylor II. He's a 7th rounder who got some really good experience in training camp, will get really good experience in preseason. And this is somebody down the road we could be talking about as a starter. Right now, he's a special teamer. He's a 7th round, safety. So I like this a lot. I mean, again, they got a lot of depth now, in the back end and the secondary. And then I know a lot of you guys, and I've seen it, like Quindell Johnson, Rashad Torrance, and so there are some guys there to keep an eye on as well. So that's the beauty there. You also have Tyon Davis, who's made a few plays in the secondary. Trey Tomlinson, who I didn't mention. So, yeah, that's some good stuff. I'm going to tweet out that depth chart. I was going to do that, and I forgot earlier. So, I'll do that. Let's see what we got here. I guess my draft didn't save. That's annoying. Maybe I scheduled it. Oh, there it is. All right, cool. So, yeah. How we doing, guys? Sorry, I forgot to ask you how everyone was doing. So, let's check up on the comments here. Have you heard of Kool-Aid McKinstry corner from Alabama? I have. Great name, obviously. And I've heard of Kool-Aid McKinstry. Going to be a first rounder in all likelihood. Is our first round pick protected through the 1st to the 10th pick next season? No, there's no protected picks in the NFL that I know of. I think that's only an NBA, and I think maybe. Is it a hockey thing? I think it's just an NBA thing. That's interesting. Protected picks. I don't know if they would ever add that or anything like that. But what's up, Peo? How's it going? Appreciate your support. How do you think Raheem loves this move? So I think Raheem is very excited about this move. Because he did get a chance to play with Raheem. Wade was 2017, 2018, 2019. What's up, Presto Gang over on Kick? What's up, Chefco? Ronster, how we doing? I agree. McVay isn't there to tank. McVay is here. He's there to win. Let's see here. Guys, be sure to hit the like button if you're excited about this move or if you like this live stream. My goal is to always hit 100 when I do these, so let's get that. We're already breaking news. It is a thank you, Rams, for actually giving us some stuff to talk about in early August. I mean, that's cool. And just so you guys know, if you're new here, be sure to hit the subscribe button. I do plenty of content like this. And if you're not new here, regardless if you're new or not, I'm going to be doing a Rams watch party over on Bleacher Report for the preseason game. So that'll be fun. Hope to see you guys there. Great pickup. I love the pickup. I love it. I've mentioned it before because I heard it was definitely likely. Feeling pretty good about it. So it's funny, like, here's the thing, okay? Because I was kind of wrestling with how early I wanted to get up and report this. And it was kind of like, man, I don't know what I want to do. Like, if I get up super early and report this, you know, like I have to try to beat out everybody else if I want to scoop, right? But at the same time, I'm like, it might be really early on the West Coast, the Rams coast. And so I don't know. Like, I don't know what the traction will be like. But hey, we got 78 people in here. It is 8:21 a.m. That means it's 5:21 a.m. On the West Coast. So appreciate you guys that are here. How much he signed for, I don't have the details yet. It's not a fit. This is the first break of it. I got the okay to drop the news. So yeah, it's 5:18. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Boofy, thank you so much for the 2. Appreciate you. Move a safety to the star. Did Johnson fall off or get worse? Why did it take so long for him to get a contract? I think really what it comes down to is this is a position that over the years they've gotten a little bit, there's been a little bit of a pushback in terms of how much a safety gets paid. And I'll go through and look at Spotrac because I know, you know, when you look at guys like say, you know, Jesse Bates got paid, right? Like no one's debating Jesse Bates getting paid. But, you know, at the end of the day, like who else is getting paid at that position? Because it really hasn't been a ton. And so I think that's the thing is like, I'm going to look here. I'm going to dig into it here because I want to see. But I know Jesse Bates was like the big payday, but appreciate you guys. All I gotta say, Puka ain't need to do what he did to Travius yesterday. Oh, that was Travius? See, I couldn't tell who that was. I mean, lucky for him. I couldn't even read that number. It was crazy. It was covered up the entire time. All right, let's look at the safeties, right? Because if we don't know someone, we're not going to just make it up. Let's just look it up. Let's see who's well, not who's available. LaMarcus Joyner, by the way, is available, as is Devin McCourty, although I believe he retired, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, so this is where we stand right now, is when you look at the average annual value, this is the safety position. So Jesse Bates, we have $16 million average annual value, okay? That was the big, you know, the big bucks. And Jesse Bates is awesome. So he gets paid by Atlanta at age 26. Von Bell is the second most with $7.5 million, okay? 2-year deal. Jesse Bates, okay? Or, sorry, 3-year deal. Jesse Bates is a 4-year deal. 1 mil. $7 million a year, third most, paid by the Cleveland Browns, 3 years, $21 million. Donovan Wilson, paid by Dallas, 3 years, $21 million. So really, there's guys that were paid between $7.5 to $6 million average annual. There's about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 guys. And then after that, you go down to the $4 million range. Jabril Peppers in New England, Nick Scott with Cincinnati. I think the Rams did want Nick Scott back, but I also think they just kind of were trying to save as much money as they could. So, I mean, Bates got 4 years, $64 million, but it's not quite like it used to be. And I think that's kind of, you know, that's what we're getting at here. I mean, let's look at Bates. So if you look at Bates, he's the 3rd highest paid safety in the league. Cash wise, he's the highest paid safety in the league. So cap hit is 3rd, cash wise, it's 1st. So really what has happened here is that this position is being undervalued, in my opinion. The safety position is important. It's the last line of defense, you know, in that secondary. And so, you know, I look at that and I'm like, yeah, I think it's being undervalued. I don't think this is going to be a substantial deal for John Johnson either. So, you know, I mean, that's the thing. Like, I don't think it's going to be a substantial deal for John Johnson. Now, where was John Johnson in terms of like PFF last year? Because I know people were probably curious about that. Like, because, okay, did he fall off, right? I mean, he was ranked 82 that was with linebackers and safeties. So if you do safeties, right? By the way, PFF is not the end all be all. It's a nice tool, but tape is good to use. Stats you can use. I use a little bit of everything. I thought John Johnson on tape looked good. He's another guy that played all 17 games. Okay. He played over 1,000 snaps last year. This is a guy that was 48th in safeties. I mean, that's not bad. I mean, if you think about it, you have 32 safeties on a team, but you technically have 64 that start because you have 2 safeties starting. That's still a starting caliber safety, you know? So at the end of the day, John Johnson, he had a pretty decent year. Now, what does it mean for him right now? Like, is this still the same John Johnson that he was on the Rams? I don't think he's had a better season than he did his last year on the Rams. If I'm being quite honest with you, okay, I think 2020 was when it all came together. I think he had a very, very, very good season. And then he goes to the Browns, and I thought he had 2 okay to solid years, but we were talking about potential Pro Bowl, second team all-pro level safety in 2020. That's why this move, I think, is such a big deal. Because when you look at it, this guy's played 1,000. He played 903 snaps in 2021, and then 2022 he played over 1,000 again. So this is somebody who, relatively speaking, has played a lot of snaps, a lot of experience, and he's good all across the board. I mean, that's the thing. And I think the funny thing is, you could argue, his best year was 2020. He actually gave up a 96.4, quarterback passer rating, whereas this past year, 77.7. So, I mean, you could argue he's gotten better in coverage, over the years. I think really what it comes down to is to have that flexibility where you have a guy that can cover and stop a guy like George Kittle, but you also have a guy that's athletic enough to come up and make that tackle. And that's the thing, is that John Johnson is an upgrade over Nick Scott and Taylor Rapp. I think Nick Scott played really well down the stretch of 2021 to 2022 to win that Super Bowl. But what I think kind of goes unsaid is that Nick Scott didn't have a fantastic year last year. He's somebody I think a lot of fans elevated into that, like, okay, he could be that top tier guy. And what ended up happening is I don't really think he ever met that. Now, I'm not hating on the guy. I like Nick Scott. But at the end of the day, I think this is a pretty big upgrade, if you ask me. And Jordan Fuller's already shown you that he can play. Like, as long as he doesn't get hurt. And that's another thing. When you're taking into account Jordan Fuller, John Johnson, like, not necessarily John Johnson. He's had an injury before, but, Jordan Fuller has struggled to stay healthy. So are you going to rely on Jordan Fuller and, a bunch of the young guys, or would you rather have John Johnson, Jordan Fuller, and if Jordan Fuller goes down, then we'll go that avenue? I think this makes too much sense. Yeah, this is another one of those great signings. They waited, and then boom, they made it. Like, I love the pickup. I don't think they're going to go after an edge. I mean, they might, but I think they really want to see what they have in the young guys. That's what I think. I think they really want to see what they have in the young guys before they go that route. Just my thoughts. Yeah. Wow, our secondary just got better, as well as our defense. I know our offense will be good, and now I feel better about the defense. Yes. Yeah. No, I feel that. I get that. Makes perfect sense. What's up, Fish? How we doing? Bloomy, how's it going? Dr. Dingus, what's up? Presto Game, do you think they sign a veteran edge rusher or just stick with the young guys? I think the plan is to try to stick with the young guys. But I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if they went out and signed an edge defender, okay? Wouldn't be shocked. But I think really they want to see what they have. You know, they want to see what they have in guys that they drafted. They want to see what they have in Hoyt. They want to see what they have in Byron Young. You know, they like Keir Thomas, a guy that can set the edge, stop the run. You know, they drafted 3 pass rushers this year in this draft. I know they picked twice as many times as what you normally pick, but make no mistake about it. You know, I think this team definitely, they want to see what they have, you know, first before anything. And I get it. Yes, Dingus. There's no reports yet. I'm the first to break it. I was told late last night, so I planned out a whole live stream. I literally put the privacy to unlisted, so it wouldn't spoil it. But yeah, I found out late last night. Would I like Clowney in LA? I don't know. I mean, it depends. I think for the right price, maybe, you know. Boofy, Hoyt moved over to outside linebacker. He's not an interior defensive lineman anymore. And I think he's around 280. Like, I think he used to be 310. And the way he moved at that was pretty crazy. But great athlete and everything. Okay, yeah. Then you know. I'm not teasing you, Automaniac. Definitely not teasing you. Brandon, this is a report that I'm dropping. Like, I'm breaking this right now. It hasn't, no one released it yet. It's like when I told you guys Stetson Bennett was coming to the Rams. And people were like, I don't see, no, the Twitter doesn't say Stetson Bennett's coming to the Rams, so I'm going to wait for the Twitter to show me. And I'm like, I'm just saying, you know? So, yeah. Guys, be sure to hit that like button. Also, subscribe if you haven't already, if you're new here. If you're over on Kick for the first time, if you could hit that follow button, would really help me out. We have 319 followers. I'm going to be doing some film breakdown over there because YouTube basically doesn't allow it anymore. I'm just going to get copyright struck. So if you want to hit me over there, would appreciate it. Yeah, Justin Houston got signed. Wasn't it to Carolina, I believe? We'll see. We'll see if they give me the credit. I mean, I you know, I don't take offense to it if they do or they don't. I mean, you know, I was the first one to break it, but I've done it before and I haven't gotten credit from those guys. So it's like, it is what it is, you know? Yeah. I have nothing against anybody in the industry. So, I mean, if they want to give me credit, that'd be nice. If not, I'm just doing my own thing. I was all about pushing this so I could get this out in a live stream form, which I've never done before. Like, I mean, you can tell, like, I'm still a little, like, waking up, but I planned it out, got some shut-eye, woke up, boom, there we go. Melvin Ingram is still out there. Yeah, that's an interesting one. I mean, let's look, right? Okay, let's look at the edge defenders that are available right now. So right now, the guys that are available, and this is the thing, guys, there's a lot of guys that are available. So Melvin Ingram, like you mentioned, is available. Carlos Dunlap, Jason Pierre-Paul, Robert Quinn. Let's see here. Jadeveon Clowney was mentioned earlier. Carl Nassib. Matt Ioannidis is available? I didn't know that. Trey Flowers. I'm trying to look any other names that are noticeable. That's it. But those are some pretty decent names. Like, if you need a veteran guy, you know, then I mean, I guess my thing here is if you're going out and getting John Johnson, I guess you kind of open the door to go out and get another guy. But at the same time, John Johnson could mean more about the Jordan Fuller thing than anything. And I think that's how I look at it, is that they got to protect Jordan Fuller. If Jordan Fuller goes down, you don't want to have to throw two new guys, two young guns in the back end of the secondary. Well, I think they can do it. I think you still want that experience. And so I think this adds that. If the Rams are in the playoff hunt, I could see us trading for Danielle Hunter. I don't see that because of the deal he signed. Beforehand, I could have. I don't see it now. Presto Gang says Robert Quinn reunion. Why not? Dr. Dingus says, when are they planning to announce it? So JJ3 is signing later today, is what I was told. The exact words were, he's signing later today. So that's what I know, is that, let's see. I'm reading it right now. Oh, signing him tomorrow. Tweet out in the AM. So, yeah. And that's where we're at right now. Robert Quinn would be a nice throwback name. Yeah, he also has some experience with some of the coaches on the staff. Not a ton of them, but some of them. I mean, I personally think that if they went with anybody, right? I don't know. I think Melvin Ingram would probably be the guy. I mean, I could see Quinn. I know they had some interest in him at the deadline when they were wrestling with whether or not they wanted to go for it or not. And then they decided, you know what? We're gonna play this out. We don't know how the season's gonna go. We don't like where we're in, so they decided not to make a move at the deadline. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I could see that to a degree. I could. Who's the next pickup the Rams will get? Well, unfortunately, I don't have that much information. But yeah. Don't forget to hit the like button on YouTube. And if you haven't already, hit the follower button on Kick. If you're watching on Kick now, appreciate you. We got 14 people. And you haven't followed yet, you probably haven't made an account. If you're worried about making an account, it takes 30 seconds. And you just hit the follow button and you're good. And we're going to have some special stuff on here. So we do simulcast on Kick and YouTube, but then the gaming streams that I do on Kick, I do on Kick. The film breakdown, things that I can't do on YouTube, I'm going to do over there. So, yeah, I'll hit you up with the link in the comment section. That would be great, right? That would probably be something that could help. I'm just telling people to go over to Kick, and I'm not sending the link. I'm normally better about that. So, yeah. Anyone on YouTube that wants to get involved, there you go. I stream there every night, except for last night, because I passed out, and then I realized it was too late, and then I found out this information, so I was like, you know what? I'll just get to sleep. I'll drop this in the morning. So, yeah. And we've been live for how long? 30 minutes? So, good stuff. You were at Rams camp yesterday. Didn't realize how big those players are till you see them. Also, I saw Puka Nakua's head top catch. That was pretty crazy. You saw Oppenheimer yesterday. We signed JJ3 today. What a time to be alive. For real. Appreciate you, Boofy. Take care. Pretty awesome stuff, though. Let's see. Dunlap wouldn't be that bad. He would knock. Yeah. Yeah, I could see that. 30 and a wake up. I agree with that. It would be fun to reunite with Quinn. Definitely be fun to reunite with Quinn. I mean, if I had my pick, like out of my pick, I would probably go with Robert Quinn. If they absolutely needed. Zach, thank you so much for that. Appreciate you. I don't know why. Let's see. I didn't even hear that, though. Got alerts. Kick alert. Modern output. Yeah, I don't know. I did not hear that. That was weird. Appreciate you following, Zach. Presto, appreciate you following. We got 17 people on Kick. Damn, 321 followers. We got 84 people live on YouTube. And not everyone's awake. It's 5:41 on the West Coast. Automaniac, I wasn't told as such. I would assume it's a 1-year deal, but he is 27 years old. I mean, here's my thing, okay? If he was struggling to find a team to sign to, or that would sign him, this would be a great fit for a 1-year prove-it deal to reset his value on the market. You know? And also it gives the Rams a year to develop the young guys. Paddock J says I'm up getting ready for school. Well, you know how it is. I live in the city that never sleeps. So, not in New York City, but I live in New York, so I mean, I never sleep. It works perfectly. Dr. Dingus, do you think signing some of these vets might discourage some of the young guys, or are the coaches not seeing enough from the young guys? So in this case, because this is a great question, per usual, you always ask great questions. Thank you for the follow, Paddock J. In this case, I'm going to say right now that I believe John Johnson was signed because Jordan Fuller's health. Okay? That does not mean Jordan Fuller is about to get hurt. I do not think Jordan Fuller is working on, he's not dealing with an injury. But I'm thinking it doesn't hurt to have a guy like John Johnson who's played over 1,000 snaps in LA to play alongside Fuller. And if Fuller goes down, you have one of the guys that can step up instead of having to have a bunch of them and maybe bleeding into the back end, you know, of your depth, where now you're throwing out a 7th round rookie. So that's how I feel. I like that. Ben, thank you so much. Love your show and your football knowledge, especially on the Rams. Keep up the great job, Jake. Thank you so much, Ben. Appreciate you. You're going to drive from Indy to Indy from St. Louis on October. First, check my Rams out. Awesome, Donald. You'll enjoy that. You hope they win at least 8 games? I think they're going to win at least 8. I do. Brandon, I agree with you. I mean, you know, this is bargain bin hunting, but at the same time, like, you can still get really good players without the bargain bin hunting. You know, I think that's really what it comes down to. So we'll see. Man, I like try to like, so I'm trying to tag some people that might want to know this information in that tweet. And it's kind of like, I don't know. I always forget people's ats. I think that's my biggest issue on Twitter. I just forget people's tags and ats. Like, I don't know. And people are like, why didn't you tag me? It's like, bro, you're always changing your ad. I don't know what you are. Like, yeah, I don't know. Can you do a vid where you look at the schedule and see what games they're going to win? I believe I did that video early on. I could do something like that. Yeah, that probably wouldn't be hard. Kyle, this is me breaking it, so it's not out there yet. You know, but HD, I'll definitely check it out. I'll definitely check it out. It's pretty crazy. Like, still got a lot of people on the West Coast that are in here. I know it's really early for you guys. I mean, would I be up on the East Coast right now? Like your time, 5:46? I can't say I would, but I mean, I guess every now and then I would, but yeah, who's available right now? I don't think we went over that. Who's available right now at safety? Because John Johnson is signing with the Rams. I think, like I said, I think McCourty retired. He's 35. If you look at the age, John Johnson is the 1, 2, 3, 4. He's the fourth youngest. He's tied for the fourth youngest in the safety group. I mean, Vernon Scott, Scott Nelson, I don't really know them. Ronnie Harrison, excuse me, also from Cleveland. He is a free agent. Nasir Adderley retired. Good for him. But he retired. Marcus Allen from Pittsburgh. Armani Watts from Indy. Sean Chandler from Carolina. Josh Jones. Carl Joseph. Marcel Harris. Andrew Adams. I mean, I'm going to go on record and say John Johnson was clearly the best in the market. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think Daron Harmon is good, and I like LaMarcus Joyner, but I'm going to go with John Johnson. So, chat, let me know in the comments section below, what do you think about this? Or in the chat section, of course. What do you think about this? What would you give it? A through F, 1 out of 10. What would you give this pickup? 10 being the best, A being the best, of course. I'm curious. How many of you are happy about this move? You gave it a B, a 5 out of 10, Maurice Brown. 8 plus. Or is that B plus? I can't even read. We all should be happy. I agree with that ascending. 6 out of 10, 8 out of 10, good fit. Will help our younger DBs. I like it. I like it. Ascending key beats, give it an A. Yeah, I think it's an A minus. I mean, I think, you know, this is a great move at this point in the 7. Okay. The Rams haven't announced it yet. I'm the first one that's putting it out there because I was told late last night it's happening. I'd be shocked if he didn't start. Trenton, thank you so much for becoming a platinum member. Appreciate you. Thank you, Clark. I like the addition. Maurice, no, he didn't, but he's only 27. Like, you know, I think this guy could play another 5 years at quality football, you know. I think safeties can play, you know, decent, you know, a decent time. So I don't worry too much about all that. Dingus says, do you think also bringing in JJ3 is because they're transitioning Lake to linebacker / safety as well? could JJ3 also play that role too? Yes and yes. That's a great point. I think Lake definitely could play that linebacker. They don't have a lot of linebacker depth, so I could see that. And I think JJ3 could also play that role. Yeah. No, I like that. Bloomy, I'd say 8 out of 10. Anytime you can bring in someone with experience who has been on the team before at this point in the season is great. I agree with you. Love the update, man. Doing a great job keeping me sane before the season. Thanks. No, I appreciate that. I'm trying to. I know that it's a long road when you're waiting for football, but when I get news, I like throwing these out there. Boofy, you got a Madden League in self-promo over on Discord. Okay. Anyone that wants to play Madden with Boofy, well, check out our Discord. And in the self-promo section, you can join his Madden League. There you go. There's your your promo. Russ Yeast is not that guy. I don't know if I would say that because I don't think we know currently what we have. I don't know. I mean, I would say it's a good question. Why was JJ on the market? I think really it's less about him and more about where we're going, where the direction we're going with the safety position in the NFL. So the signing hasn't happened yet. They're signing him today, but it's happening. Yeah, Dingus, let's just say this one's pretty rock solid. We'll just say that. W Jake early morning stream. Hey, I did one of these. Was it last week or was it? Yeah, it was last week, and it did really well. We had 180 something people, and I did it at what 10:40 or something like that. So I'm like, all right, let's get up, let's work. I heard that Hoyt was on a plan, but I don't know if they changed his weight on the site. I could check that out, but he's still listed at 6'4", 310. But I was told he lost a lot of weight. I don't think that's accurate. Fish, what's up? What's up, Exotic? Over on Kick. Appreciate y'all. 322 followers. You guys are awesome. If you guys want to follow Kick, if you're on YouTube right now and you want to follow Kick, I'll be doing film breakdown over there. I'll be gaming over there every single night for the most part. If you want to get involved in the action, look at the pinned comment. The Kick URL is right in there. Rams House TV, how's it going? Do I know if Hoyt did? I already read that. My bad. So yeah, I don't know if Hoyt lost the weight. I was told he did, but I don't know like what his current standing weight is right now. That's what I'll say. But I mean, the cool thing is this isn't just like a, oh yeah, this is nice. Like he's not over the hill, right? He's not over the hill. He still plays good football. He still started last year. He started the last 3 years of his career. I don't think he really fell off last year. And I think what's really important here, he's 27 years old and he knows the culture. He knows the defense, He has familiarity playing with Jordan Fuller. So, it's good stuff. Yes, Rams House TV. That's the JE Live exclusive. That's like what I'm breaking. they are signing him per my source. Hoy had like 5 sacks in limited playing time. He could be good. Needs work on setting the edge, though. I agree with that. Yeah, absolutely, Joakim. I would do more film breakdown, and it's not YouTube themselves that copyright strikes me, but these companies are getting more and more brutal on that, especially the college tape. NFL's not as bad. They just copyright claim. They take the revenue, which is a little unfair, but, you know, because it is fair use technically, because you're taking something, but you're making it your own type of artwork by, you know, talking over it, you know, being, you know, educational, you know, and breaking things down instead of just uploading it as your own. But I don't mind that as much as I mind the copyright striking. Like, if I'm getting a warning or a strike, if I get one strike, like everyone talks about the 3 strikes you're out rule. No. If you get one strike, then the whole week you can't post, you can't go live. So I have to be careful. And so I'm just like, you know what? I'm going to do them over on Kick. That's what I'm going to do. Guys, if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe. I know most of you are subscribed, but if you haven't, be sure to subscribe on YouTube. I have plenty more where this came from, so be sure to do that. Let's see what we got here. Kick gang, how you guys doing? Chat. Hope everyone's doing well. You want one more veteran pass rusher, Maurice Brown? Yeah, I think that's kind of the consensus here, is that I think a lot of Rams fans like this move a lot, and they want another veteran pass rusher. That's what I think. Oh, wow, really? Yeah, so I used that, Joakim. I used the Euro Game Pass, and it transferred to DAZN, and they charged me, whatever, $200 or whatever, and I just canceled it because I'm going to get YouTube TV, you know, Sunday Ticket. So I don't like that they transferred it to DAZN at all. So did we sign him, or are we going? So they're going to sign him today. So he's not signed at the moment, but they're signing him today. Like, it's already done. Like, they've agreed to it verbally. That's what I was told. And I was told by a pretty rock solid source. So if anyone wants to say, like, are you sure this could backfire? Like, if it backfires, like, it'd have to be something crazy for it to backfire. Because this is the source that told me Stetson Bennett during the draft when we broke that. When we broke Davis Allen, when we broke Warren McClendon, all those guys. So, yeah. Yeah, the Eagles signed both Myles Jack and Zach Cunningham yesterday. That's pretty crazy. That is crazy. Yeah, I mean, the consensus feels like you guys are pretty excited about this. Which is what I expected, more or less. It is exciting, you know? Good stuff. Obviously. Who starts opposite JJ3? It's going to be Fuller. So I think it's Jordan Fuller and John Johnson. Feel good saying that. I think they could play 3 safeties, but what's funny, and of course I shouldn't put too much stock in this because, you know, Twitter, you get, you know, your awesome people and then you get your mixed bag. But I will say that, you know, there are some tweets out there where you're like, bro, when's the last time you watched John Johnson film? Because John Johnson's not washed. Like, I don't know. I think people just say things to say things, but he's far from washed. He's 27 years old. It's not like he's coming off a brutal injury either. Like, I don't know. That stuff is just ridiculous, but yeah, great news. Lots of former Game Pass subscribers got deducted the $300 even though they canceled Game Pass years ago. So DAZN isn't off to a good start, but I'll take what I can get. Yeah, no, I hear that. You gave it a B+, Ben? Yeah, Craig, I'm the one confirming it. This is a scoop. But we're doing it differently because, yes, I tweeted it on Twitter, but like within the seconds of tweeting it on Twitter, I also put it out on here doing a live stream. So, some good stuff, right? The most explosive running back room since Marshall Faulk and Steven Jackson. That was a fun room. It really is such a good signing, you know, and this kind of, it just goes back to what I've been saying all along. I've been saying this team wants to compete. They want to go out. They want to get guys that want to compete. They want to win. And when you go out, you get a guy like Akella Witherspoon, who, I mean, I've been very high on, been very complimentary of. I'm a big fan of Akella Witherspoon. I don't think he gets enough credit. He's had some ups and his downs, but I think a lot of it came down to injuries. If he stays healthy, he's going to be really good. I mean, let's not, act like, his 4 games last year is not enough of a sample size to tell you what he truly has. He was playing through a hamstring injury, placed on injury reserve. He's 28 years old, so a year older than John Johnson. But Witherspoon in 2021 was the 17th overall corner by PFF, with Pitt. He was 4th in targeted passer rating, which is great, by the way. And he only gave up 1 touchdown, had 3 picks. In 2020, he was the 5th overall corner per PFF with Seattle. And, of course, with Pittsburgh. He didn't really even play with Seattle. He got traded, before the season started. But gave up only 2 touchdowns, and he only missed 1 tackle. So when you're playing this bend, don't break, soft shell, soft zone, whatever you want to call it, you need guys that are going to step up and make the tackle, and that's something that you don't have to worry about when it comes to John Johnson. The secondary, Jordan Fuller, Akella Witherspoon can tackle, Jacoby Durant, who's going to be playing the star slot role, like where's Waldo, he can tackle. Darion Kendrick is actually at this moment the only one that's a bit of a question mark, and I could be absolutely wrong about him because it seems to me like the coaches really like Darion Kendrick. So that's the only one to me who's a little bit of a question mark because I don't really know what is going to happen with him. I thought his rookie year had some ups and his downs. I think it was great to get him on the field. I like that he had experience. He got experience early on. That was great. But, it's a little bit of a mixed bag, right? I think there are some fans that really like him, played at, Georgia. But at the same time, I think there are some fans that are like, I need to see a little bit more. I didn't like how he played, against Marquise Brown and whatnot. So, we'll see. Do the Rams still like rookie safety Jason Taylor's potential and what happened to him getting more reps like he was before? Dr. Dingus, great question over on Kick. I believe that they do like Jason Taylor, They like Jason Taylor II's potential a lot. I think they just don't want to put too much of a workload on him. And I think really what it comes down to is they feel it's a better opportunity to go out and just, we're going to sign John Johnson. He's close to home. We know him. Obviously the fans still love him. If you look at yesterday, he was at camp. He has a chance to be a leader here, and he's only 27. So, I don't know. I really like this move, but I really like multiple moves that the Rams made. I actually really like the Demarcus Robinson move. Okay, I think that was an underrated little move there that I don't think gets enough attention. And then you have guys that like Tutu Atwell, Kyron Williams, guys that you drafted in the past. And, Tutu Atwell going into year 3 here, I think we're going to start to see him really take off. We talked about in our last live stream. I think he's going to be wide receiver 3. I think he's now interchangeable, can play the slot, can play both outside receiver roles. He can obviously stretch the field, but you got to get to the point where you can make it so he's going to be in the offense even when he's not used in that way, because that's going to key in like defenses. It's going to be a tell for defenses. So, that's what I'll say there. Yams, hi, just scrolling through live channels and wanted to say your stream quality is so good. Keep it up. Thank you so much, Yams. Really appreciate that. Appreciate the love there. What I'll say is this. If you're taking time out of your day to watch me on your TV, whether it's on your TV, on your phone, on your iPad, on whatever you're watching me on, I think I owe it to you guys. If you're going to take that time, I need to have good audio and I need to have good video. I've always made that, a priority. And so, yeah, that's why, I wasn't going to do any of this live stream or making videos until I had a good setup. It's why it took me so long to get onto YouTube. So, and if you're seeing me on Kick, I just, it just started, January? So I was a little late to the party, but not too late because it still says Kick is in beta. So there's that. Robinson is better than him, though. Which Demarcus Robinson? Well, that's another pickup I like. So I like going out and getting Demarcus Robinson, a guy who's always on the field. He stays relatively healthy. He's Mr. Reliable. And so you have Demarcus Robinson, right? And then in addition to that, what he can do, like the things that people are saying at camp, like he's always looking for work in the blocking game. When you have a wide receiver that is going to go down the field, he can hurt you vertically. He can hurt you as a pass catcher that can, make his moves and, make things happen after the catch. He can hurt you as a, just a route runner, but then he can also hurt you as a blocker. You're getting a pretty darn good player, I would say. And so that's what I would say in regards to that. And so, I think at the end of the day, when you look at a guy like Demarcus Robinson, you look at a guy like Keller Witherspoon, a guy like John Johnson, these are veteran guys that you can rely on that are going to make this team better. And think about the opportunity here for a guy like, Demarcus Robinson. I mean, I know he played with Patrick Mahomes. I know he caught a touchdown in the playoffs last year, but Demarcus Robinson is Matthew Stafford. If he could work his way into that 3rd, 4th spot, he could have a really good year here and kind of reset his value in the league. What you might not know is he hasn't missed a game, and this is a guy that has more outside wide receiver reps than anyone on the league, anyone on the team in the league for his career. So this guy has more experience on the outside than Cooper Kupp, Van Jefferson, Tutu Atwell, Tyler Johnson, Puka Nacua, Ben Skoranek, any of those guys. That's value. John Johnson, all those reps he has, right? The only guy that's even close is Jordan Fuller. So you go out and get him. And then a Keller Witherspoon who's got all the experience on the outside that Darion Kendrick, Jacoby Durant, they don't have. So that's important. I like that they went out, they got experienced guys. They went out and got these value guys, right? We talk about bargain bin hunting, and I never want to say it in a way that discredits a player because I am definitely pro player. I do two shows with a former NFL player, former Ram, Cameron Lynch. Shout out to him if he's watching by any stretch. But, I never want to be anti-player or anything like that. But I think the big thing here is bargain bin hunting is this. Like, it's not meant to be a knock on a player. Like, instead of spending 14, 15 million a year like they could have done with Jesse Bates, they're like, you know what, we'll wait. We'll see what we have in training camp. Now here it is. We are, 5 days away from preseason game number 1 for the Rams? And they're like, let's just sign John Johnson. And we're going to sign him now. We're not going to pay $14, $15 million. And we're still getting a guy right in his prime. That's the beauty of it. And, if you for a second are sitting there saying, John Johnson, can we really expect him to get back to where he was? Let me just throw one guy to you right now. Do you guys know, and drop in the comment section if you do, maybe I'm an idiot, and if I am, then just say it. But let me just say this right now. Do you know Demario Davis? Drop in the comment section. Do you know Demario Davis? Simple question, yes or no? Demario Davis goes to the Saints late in his career. There were people saying, oh, he's washed, this and that and whatnot. He was always solid. He was on the Jets. He was a solid football player. The guy took off and became one of the best linebackers in the sport. He is an absolute baller. And he's 35 right now. He's still one of the best at that position. John Johnson is 8 years younger than him, okay? John Johnson had his best year with the Rams at age 24. There's no reason to say that John Johnson can't have a good year in LA, and he's not washed. This is a guy who's going to turn 28 in December. So you're getting him the majority of the season, he's going to be 27 years old. And who knows? Maybe they sign him to a longer-term deal. All I know is that he's signing today. That's all I've been told. So does he end up signing a 1-year deal, 2-year deal? I don't know. I'm going to lean towards a 1-year deal. And that's fine. They're going to have cap space next year if they want to bring him back. So I don't know. I really like this. Keep Ben Skoranek as the extra tight end / fullback role to take the load off our running back and tight ends on our blocking and run plays, says INO. I think that's going to be how Skoranek stays on the field. There's a lot of depth there in the receiver room. I think people are sleeping on the amount of talent in the receiver room because there's not a DeAndre Hopkins. There's not anybody like that. But, Van Jefferson had 800 yards as the 4th receiver option, the 5th total option in the offense in his 2nd year. Deals with injuries last year. Now he's healthy. Okay, he's working with Matthew Stafford in training camp. He hasn't had that opportunity. Tutu Atwell misses his rookie season, never really even gets a chance to play, right? He hurts himself on a return. So now he comes back year 2, which is last year, doesn't really get utilized until the end of the season. You start to see what he can do. You saw Matthew Stafford, one pass to him is a bomb over everybody else against the Saints. So that's the potential of him. But also then you start to see what he can do with Baker Mayfield. And he's running routes, and he's separating, and he's keeping guys on their toes. And those are the little things that are going to keep him on the field, because if you just have one guy that's running straight down the field constantly, it's a tell for the defense. Oh, this guy's just going to run straight down the field. So, look, Atwell, okay, is going to do that. Van Jefferson, Kupp is the best receiver in the game, okay? We don't have to worry about his injury because, again, it's not that bad. Sean McVay confirmed. They're not worried about it. They're just going to take it easy with him. Demarcus Robinson has never gone over 600 yards in a season, but he's somebody that could be pretty darn good. And then you look over at Puka Nacua, who I was a little down on. Not as, I'm not trying to be, offensive to the guy. I liked him. Remember I said that. I watched a lot of Jaren Hall tape at BYU. I wanted him on the Rams. And so watching the Jaren Hall tape, just Puka Nacua, every which way just keeps standing out. And so Nacua felt like somebody with Sean McVay who likes to take it easy on the rookies a little bit. Cam Akers didn't get a full workload right out of the gate. Darrell Henderson definitely didn't. Neither did Van Jefferson. I didn't expect it, but Puka Nacua is actively fighting for the 3rd or 4th receiver spot. That's saying a lot, okay? He made a really nice catch down the sideline yesterday that the Rams Twitter, I believe it was also on YouTube Shorts. They posted. It was Stafford to Puka Nacua where he went up and high pointed the football, and he looks like he's going to be a pretty darn good player. So the point being is that if you want to get Skoranek on the field, right? You want to get him on the field, but you don't know how. The fullback thing that he did last year, that's going to be your best method to try to get him on the football field. He's a good player, but this receiver room got a lot better than the last time we saw him starting. So, because of injury, we'll say. I agree. I think Demarcus Robinson was an excellent signing. Love that. Let's see here. Keep Ben Skronk as the extra. Okay, I saw that. What's with Van Jefferson having so many rest days? Has he had that many? I think they're just trying to keep him working, you know. I don't think it's anything to be like worried about. Is what I'll say. I don't think it's anything to be worried about. No, I haven't been on the crazy. Like McCutcheon, to me, and I talked about this in the 2-2 Atwell live stream. McCutcheon to me is another one of those Nelson Spruce type of guys that look like it's a lot of fun. You know, you get really invested. You haven't seen football in a while. You get invested in the preseason. It's a lot of fun. And could McCutcheon do something? Sure, but this is going to be way too hard for him to make this. I just don't see him making the roster. And I don't know if the Rams will be able to protect him because he could go into preseason, have a good preseason. But, I mean, all we need to know is, like, last year, I know he's a rookie, but last year when they were starving for help on the offense, he didn't really step up and he had some injuries. And so I think they really do like him. But I think, again, this receiver room got better, and so it's going to be harder for him to play. Yeah. No, I agree with you. I think that, yeah, Tutu, he's building on his route running. He's building on the manipulation, getting off the line of scrimmage, things like that, keeping you, you know. I mean, you got to keep him honest, right? Yeah, Levante David, you mentioned exotic from the earlier point that I was making about DeMario Davis. Yeah, Yams. Yep, I am a Laker fan. I am also excited for the season. No, absolutely. JJ3 hasn't really had any major injuries, either, right? I don't believe he has, actually. I think there was 2019. Something happened in 2019. I think he. Let's see here. I'm trying to remember here. I'm gonna look it up. So, okay, he had an AC joint sprain. So it was a season-ending shoulder injury, week 6. So okay, he had to get surgery. That's his injury history. That shoulder injury is his injury history back in 2019 with the Rams in the game against the 49ers. So that's about it. Yeah, I think the receiving core is deep. Ever think about streaming Rams games? I stream before and after them. I wouldn't be able to stream. You're not talking about actually streaming the game, right? Like having the actual, because that would be complete copyright if I was doing that. The ceiling rampage, I mean, I think this team can win 10, 11 games. Like, I believe that. And my thing is, I always hear how great Sean McVay is, right? Like, people always admit Sean McVay is awesome. But the problem is that how awesome is Sean McVay if you don't think the Rams are going to even win 7 games like some of these people are saying? At some point or another, you have to give Sean McVay and company credit. You know, you have to give them the benefit of the doubt. I think he's earned that. I mean, it was a fluke year last year, and a lot of those games, every game except for the Chargers game, the Rams were in going into the fourth quarter. Think about that. Every single game except for the Chargers game, despite, you know, a horrible, you know, banged up offensive line, an offense that had no time to throw or, you know, hardly any time to, you know, be able to set running lanes and whatnot. And this team was in every single game going into the last quarter of those games except for the Chargers game. So 16 out of 17 games, they're in it going into the final quarter. And no one wants to talk about that. So I can sit here and just, follow the leaders. Well, everybody's saying this. Everybody's saying this. So I should just repeat what they're saying. But instead of regurgitating that nonsense, I'm just going to tell you right now, I think if you look, the signs are pointing to this team being a problem. The signs are pointing to this team making the playoffs in a weak NFC. The signs are pointing to this team as long as health, provides. And let's be honest here. Should we stop saying that? Should we stop saying as long as health permits, provides, whatever? Because think about this. I mean, I could say right now, I think the Bengals are winning the Super Bowl as long as Joe Burrow stays healthy, right? People will say, okay, the Chiefs are the Super Bowl favorites as long as Patrick Mahomes. The Chiefs aren't winning the Super Bowl without Patrick Mahomes. The Bengals aren't winning the Super Bowl without Joe Burrow. The Rams are not winning a Super Bowl without Matthew Stafford. As much as I like Stetson Bennett, they're not doing it. Okay? So, should we stop talking like that? I think we should, right? If he stays healthy, if they're healthy, health permits. That's the NFL, newsflash. If your top position, which is quarterback, gets hurt, or you lose your entire offensive line, you're probably not winning the Lombardi Trophy. It's probably not happening. It does not matter if you're Buffalo. It does not matter if you're America's team. It does not matter if you're the 49ers. The bottom line is any team that has enough injuries will miss out on winning. That's just the way it is. So why do we just focus on just the Rams? I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. But it does seem that way, right? I mean, I know Matthew Stafford had a back injury. It is a little concerning, but I'm saying this, guys, but I'm guilty of it myself. I say all the time, well, if the Rams stay healthy, I'm not going to say that anymore because everyone, if anyone stays healthy, they have a shot. We don't know how the season's going to go down. There are teams probably in the history of the league that have missed out on winning the Super Bowl because of injury that we'll never even know. I mean, can you imagine that? If the football gods could come down from the heavens and tell us, well, that year when they lost so-and-so, believe it or not, they were going to win. Can you imagine that? If we had a tool that we would actually know that. It'd be interesting, right? I mean, that's the thing. Now, I understand, and I know someone's going to bring it up. Well, Jake, you can't possibly be talking about the Rams because they did it with Kurt Warner. I'm not saying it's impossible. It's just in this day and age, it's not likely. The Kurt Warner thing, we have to be honest with ourselves. Is the Kurt Warner story ever being replicated? Probably not. I think the closest to that we've seen with a starter going down with an injury and winning the Super Bowl recently is Nick Foles, right? Winning the Super Bowl for the Philadelphia Eagles after Carson Wentz went down. I mean, that's the only thing I can really think of. I know people look at Brock Purdy, but they didn't win the Super Bowl. So, yeah, I mean, things change. Everyone deals with injuries. We can sit here and act like Matthew Stafford is the only quarterback that needs to stay healthy, but you can make an argument for anybody. Joe Burrow tore his ACL his rookie year. Why are we not talking about Joe Burrow tore his ACL, hurt himself in practice? The strained calf. Why aren't we talking about, if he stays healthy? Aaron Rodgers is getting up there if he stays healthy with the Jets. That's the thing. You can't just continue to beat the stump of, if the Rams stay healthy. No, if anyone stays healthy. Health is crucial. It's also crucial to have some depth, which, fun fact, this is what this does. Is now the Rams have some depth there, which they need, which I love, by going out and getting John Johnson. Bringing it all, wrapping all around in a nice little bow, wrapping that up. So we've been live for about, over an hour. People are waking up. I can definitely see that. My Twitter notifications are blowing up on my I'm glad they're on my iPad. Then my phone won't be completely blown to smithereens. But blown to bits. That's the beauty. If you ever have issues with that, like for whatever reason, like iPads are great. They take in all of the notifications. Preston, he starts next to Fuller immediately, right? Yes. I mean, is there maybe a little bit of a learning curve to get back into the rhythm of the defense? Maybe. I can't see it, but maybe they go easy on him and he doesn't go right back in. But I wouldn't be surprised if this is one of those things where, you know, he suits up at training camp and he is literally starting next to Jordan Fuller that instant. Would not surprise me at all. Let's see. I agree with that. I agree in substance. I think we can all agree. Not having Cooper Kupp against the Patriots in that Super Bowl, that definitely hurt them. If you don't think that game would have been a little bit different with Cooper Kupp, who Jared Goff definitely leaned on, I mean, I'll give you that. But it goes to show you, though, it's like, you know, you gotta have those things. Darius, thank you so much for donating. Appreciate the 20, my guy. Let's go, boys. JE with the JJ3 exclusive. You know how it is. Yeah, you know, this should be and we'll see what happens, because I mean, I don't know about you guys. I'm still waiting for what is it? The Rams behind the grind. So maybe they bring up JJ3. I don't know. But that would be cool. I'm still waiting for that next episode. We'll do a reaction video per usual, you know. My audio's cutting out. It shouldn't be. I hope my audio isn't cutting out. Can't wait for Saturday night. Need to see how these rookies are progressing. Yeah, and it sounds like we're going to see more starters than what we're used to. So I'm very excited for Saturday night. Oh, I loved what Jared Goff said about the Saints. I mean, that's how you have to be. Why should he apologize? Like, own that, you know? I mean, I don't know. I thought that was cool. Happy Monday, man. Glad we're doing something cool. I probably should have posted this on more things, but I was thinking Twitter and YouTube and Kick is probably the best for me. Those are the three platforms I focus the most on. So, you know. And I am so positive. I already know there are going to be people that copy this and don't give me credit. It is what it is, man. It really is. It happened with Stetson Bennett, the Instagram. Not all Instagram, because I actually just got an update that oh, no wonder why. It was East Coast Rams, of course. So East Coast Rams mentioned me in the John Johnson News on Instagram. Shout out to them. They're good people. Zach and Ashton. NFL in the Zone gave me a mention. But normally, I find most of the Instagram groups or the Instagram pages will just like report and not give me credit. So Darius, great question. I do not have the contract details at the moment. No. But they are signing him. I do know that. See, now I would love to see it be a 2-year deal, but I don't know. I think it's going to be a 1 year, and I mean that is what it is. But I think it's going to be a 1 year. It's great that's happening, but I think it's going to be a 1 year deal that basically, at the end of the day, 1 year deal that allows him to kind of reset that market for himself. That's my prediction. That's what I'll say about that. I think it's going to be a 1 year deal that kind of resets his rep in the NFL. It's tough, man. It's tough to be a safety right now. We keep talking about running backs. I mean, look, I'm not going to advocate against running backs. That's not what I'm about to do. But let's just check something out. All right? Let's just look at something real quick. Let's look at signed running backs, okay? So the average annual, it's definitely, it's not getting a ton of love, right? 6.2, 6, 4, 3.7 million a year. Miles Sanders, David Montgomery, Jamal Williams, Samaje Perine. Like safeties though, they are kind of turning into that because I mean, like if you look, for the most part, they got a 16 million guy in Jesse Bates, and then they're kind of falling off a little bit. You know, and I think when you look at it, say look at 2022. So 2022, we had 2 double-digit average annual value contracts, almost 3 with Tyrann Mathieu. We had Justin Reed and Marcus Williams. This year, we only had 1. 2021, we only had 1 with John Johnson. 3 years, $33.7 million. So in 2021, he was the highest paid safety. And now the highest paid safety, the way the market is now he's being signed in August, early August. So, Malcolm Jenkins and Von Bell were the highest paid safeties in 2020. So, yeah. Great way to start the week, David. I feel that. It's good stuff. Former Ram A'Shawn Robinson is coming off the physically unable to perform list with the Giants. I just saw that. So good for him. What's up, Kareem? Yeah, I'm glad they got him back. Definitely glad they got him back. Any chance we get a vet on the D line like Brockers? I haven't heard about Brockers, but we'll see. I believe he did, but here's what I'll say right now. I don't think John Johnson is going to get the green dot. Okay. I think it's going to be Ernest Jones. Kareem Hunt is making a free agent visit to the Saints. That's interesting. Yeah, no, Ernest Jones will have the green dot. I mean, typically speaking, you want your linebacker to have the green dot. So I definitely expect him to maintain that. And, I mean, it just makes too much sense. At this point, Ernest Jones has been in camp. He hasn't missed a day. He's been a leader there. He's going to be a captain. No doubt about it. He'll be voted on by his teammates. He'll be a captain. I'd be shocked if he wasn't. But, yeah, I mean, I definitely think it's going to be Ernest Jones. Is it cool that they have a backup in case, God forbid, Jones goes down? Yes. I think JJ3 could be that guy if they needed him to. But it's like, why take the mic away from Ernest? Yeah, he'll wear the green dot. Definitely. And that's just how it is. Like, you want your guy in the middle to wear the green dot. That's just the way it is. You want him to get protections lined up and all of that. The defense lined up, excuse me. Not protections, but it makes too much sense. I mean, I think the thing when people are like, hey, well, why don't they go out and get an edge defender? First off, it's not impossible to say that they, like, you know, it's not impossible, the idea that they wouldn't go out and get an edge defender, but you're also going to have to pay a pass rusher a little bit more than other positions, so to speak. You know, I mean, let's look, right? So recently, we'll go to free agent signings. So recently, Justin Houston, do you know how much he just made? Justin Houston's old. Like, he's getting up there in age, right? He's 34. He just signed with Carolina for $7 million on a 1-year deal. Okay? Edge defenders get paid more. It's just the way it is. He signs $7 million for a 1-year deal, right? And Ngakoue signs for $10.5 million on a 1-year deal. This is August 4th, guys. And these guys are still getting paid almost, you know, double digits or close to it. It's just a different position, you know? Like, and I think that's really like what it comes down to. So it's a lot easier to sign a corner, to sign a wide receiver, you know, kind of a mid-tier guy, than to go out and sign a pass rusher, because pass rushers, if you're going out and getting a guy like that, he's going to be expensive. So, I mean, we'll see what ends up happening with like a Quinn, Melvin Ingram, guys like that. But, you know, it's not cheap to go out and get those guys. And that's a lot of money. Now, 1 year, $7 million with Justin Houston. Is that the full $7 million? I don't know. I don't have the access to that. I think there's a good chance that most of that is guaranteed at signing. But then some other of these guys, there'll be a lot of incentive-based stuff. So either way, we're talking bigger dollars when it comes to those guys. Whereas Miles Jack and Zach Cunningham, Philadelphia brings in on the same day, and they're like, 1 year, $2.5 million. It's a done deal. That's it. They're done. Like, they're Eagles. They're signed. One year, $2.5 million. If I'm going to be honest with you, I think if we're looking at safeties, let's see who guys, like, what safeties have signed so far. All right. So Adrian Amos signed with the Jets in June, a year, $1.75 million. Dean Marlowe signed with the Bills, 1 year, $1.2 million. Those are the most notable. Kareem Jackson, 1 year, 2.6. Rodney McLeod with the Browns, 1 year, 1.3, which ironically, former Rams safety Rodney McLeod is replacing new Rams safety and former Rams safety John Johnson in Cleveland. My guess, looking at this value, especially the Steelers going out and getting Keanu Neal for 2 years, $4.2 million, Rapp signing for 1 year, 1.7. I'm going to say John Johnson's deal is probably going to be around $2 to $3 million with maybe some incentive boost. So it's probably a 1 year deal worth up to $3 million. And if it's more, then I don't know. That's more. But it doesn't seem like it would be difficult to sign a safety right now. Like, if you wanted to sign anybody, like, it'd be up to that player, I think. And another thing is, like, with John Johnson, like, do you want to go back to camp? Do you want to sign after preseason? Are you okay playing in camp, playing in the preseason? I think that's really what it comes down to. I'm with you, Kareem. I think adding Witherspoon and Johnson to that secondary is really going to help. Lake was playing some inside linebackers, so, you know, we could see something there. Yep. Terrell, I see that. What's up with Bruss moving to right tackle? So Logan Bruss we talked about it in our film breakdown when he came out last year. Logan Bruss was a tackle. Okay. Now, I'm going to say this right now because there are a lot of people when the draft happens, they like taking tackles and moving them to guard. This is a good example of why that's not always going to 100% work out. I think at the end of the day, when you look at, somebody like Logan Bruss, tears his ACL in preseason, so the poor guy couldn't even get his career really started. It's harder now to then be forced to play a position where, yes, he played a little bit of it at Wisconsin, but was that his true position? No, it was really right tackle, right? So I like Bruss at right tackle because Rob Havenstein is only getting older each year, obviously. And I think when you look at it, it gives them some insurance there, but also it gives them some depth. Because in the past, they've had to take guys from left tackle and move them over to right tackle if Havenstein went down. Whereas now you have a guy that's solidified at right tackle. That's better. He can also focus on the task at hand. So you're taking a guy who missed his entire season due to an ACL tear, didn't get a chance to get better because he was basically focused on building himself back up, right? And really working on that. And now, you have a chance where this guy, you're like clean slate, will put you back at tackle, get you more acclimated, more comfortable, and we'll go from there. So I like this move. There were a lot of people that instantly started throwing out the word bust on Twitter. How can a guy be a bust if he's never played in the NFL? Like, we don't know what he is. To say Logan Bruss is a bust because he only played one preseason game before he tore his ACL is just ridiculous. It's just not fair. So I'm not going to do that. I don't think he's a bust, but I don't know what he is. So we're going to see. He's going to work his tail off to try to acclimate himself at the tackle position again, like he predominantly played in college, and we're going to see what happens. I think this says a lot about guys like Tremaine Ankrum, who were drafted late in the draft, who they've stuck with. Guy suffers a season-ending injury. Is the moment he became a starter last year, suffers a season-ending injury, which is a bummer, but they stuck with him. Ankrum's the guy they really like. Ankrum's a good dude, too. He was up there as the Rams nominee for the Walter Payton Man of the Year. So it's easy to root for guys like that. Steve Avila, draft pick. He played guard. He moved out of his natural position at center to play guard because he's this selfless player that wanted what was best for TCU. So he can play guard. Then you have Ankrum playing guard. You have Havenstein, who's been a model of consistency, rock solid at right tackle. And then you have a little bit of a battle at the center position, the left tackle position. I think Alec Jackson is going to be the left tackle. And I think Coleman Shelton is the better center, but I think they're going to give it to Brian Allen. But that's a battle right now. Those two are battling. I think the guaranteed spots right now that we can put in ink, you have either guard spot. I don't care where they play. Either way, you're going to have both guards be Alec Jackson and Steve Avila. I think this all but solidifies the fact that Alec Jackson and Steve Avila, are your guards, because now, you go and you look at Bruss moving over to tackle. Who's competing against those guys? Coleman Shelton? I mean, you don't want to have your backup center also playing on the same line as your current center, because if both of those guys get hurt, like last year, you're down to your third string center, and that's arguably one of the most important positions on the field. And so I really like the way that they have it right now. I'm excited to see, Tremaine Ankrum continue to his development. Steve Avila gets me really giddy when I'm watching him. It's going to be fun having him on the offensive line. This is a bigger offensive line than years past, more mass. So we'll see what ends up happening, how much that helps in the run game, how much that helps in pass pro. But it's a good time to be a fan of an offensive line, because I think this offensive line is going to be a lot better than people think. And if you want to look smart, you can start really, putting your flag, planting that flag in that offensive line, because I think this offensive line is going to come out of nowhere, so to speak, but in reality, they've always been there. Now they're healthier. now they're developing guys, and now they have Avila, who they got in the second round. So, I'm thinking some good things are ahead for that unit. So appreciate you asking about Bruss, because I've been meaning to talk about that, and that's what I was going to say. But Darius, Jake, okay, I know this is kind of early, but who do you see as our starting DBs? Who covers DK and Lockett week 1? Just saying, I know we will predominantly use zone. Yeah, so this is a great question. Darius, I will say, without a doubt, we're going to see Akello Witherspoon starting on the boundary. We'll see Darion Kendrick, who they really like. We'll see Jacoby Durant in the slot playing that star role all over the place. And then our safeties, we'll see Jordan Fuller and John Johnson. There you go. I think that's the secondary. They're going to predominantly have one inside linebacker on the field. They're going to predominantly be in that nickel. And so I think that's what we're going to be seeing the most of. Now, when they come out of the nickel, that's going to be interesting, because they're not going to play nickel all the time. They might mix it up a little bit. And when they do, maybe Darion Kendrick comes out and Jacoby goes on the outside, right? But, maybe you have Quentin Lake or somebody like at linebacker. I could see that. So they are two different roles, but that's kind of what I'm getting at, is that basically he's going to be that utility guy. And I mean, let's be honest here. I know people look at corners as cornerback 3 when you're talking about the slot. But I mean, I think when you look at Jacoby Durant, he's the best corner on this team. And that's saying a lot, because I think Akello is going to be really good. He's healthy again. Like, I think he's going to be really good. But I think Jacoby's got some star potential in his game. He's got some, the feistiness of a honey badger, Tyrann Mathieu. He's got that big playability. No one had more interception return yards than Jacoby Durant last year. So I'm a big fan of his game. Stafford's been throwing darts in all the clips I've seen. A good run game will open up play action. I'm excited for this year. Oh, I am too. I could definitely see JJ3 playing that. I think they have a lot of different options, because I think they could play that. I think Russ, I think Quentin Lake. They got a lot of athleticism in that secondary. Mark my words, DeMarcus Robinson will be the number 2 wide receiver at some point, and would not be surprised me if Jefferson is traded. P-Train, I like the high praise about DeMarcus Robinson. I think he's underrated, but I don't think they're trading Van Jefferson. I don't see it. I think there's more of a chance that Van Jefferson signs a deal with the Rams to stay with them than they trade him. I think there's more of a chance in that than them trading him. So, yeah, that's what I'll say there. Jacoby Durant going to show out this season playing nickel or island. I mean, I really like him. Who's the second inside linebacker on the depth chart? I mean, if you're looking at the depth chart the way it is right now, not moving anybody to linebacker, not moving Quentin Lake or John Johnson or anybody like that, then their linebacker, up next would be Christian Roseboom, or Jake Hummel. If I'm looking at a sleeper in that room, I know people mentioned DeAndre Square quite a lot. I would say look at Kelechi Anyalebechi. He's the guy that I think could have a really good preseason, carve out a role on this team, on special teams, and even fight for some playing time on the defensive side, pushing Jake Hummel, pushing Christian Roseboom. So look out for Anyalebechi. I think he has a chance to make this roster. Another coverage safety before pass rusher. I mean, there's not a ton there. Maybe they bring back LaMarcus Joyner. I mean, I don't really know where they would go with that. It's never been easier, in my opinion, to go out and get a safety, though. They're not expensive anymore. They're just not. Anyone could get one. So, you know, that's what I'll say about that. You know, but it's never been easier to go out and get a safety. These guys are not going to cost much. That's just the way it is. I could see the Rams adding another running back. I think, once again, it's Cam Akers, Kyron Williams, and then everyone else. I think Royce Freeman is probably their third. Then Zach Evans and Ronnie Rivers are battling for that fourth spot. But I don't think that, by any stretch, I don't think they're trying to acquire a running back that would take any reps away from Cam Akers or Kyron Williams. I don't see that. Appreciate you guys, by the way. We hit 101 likes, so my goal is always to hit 100 likes in every live stream we do, and we had just hit that. So appreciate you guys. 841 views, 138 people currently live. We got people on Kick as well. 11 people on Kick. So appreciate you guys. If you want to sign up for Kick, it takes 30 seconds. I'm doing film breakdown soon because I can't do it on YouTube because companies will come at me for doing it because, you know, we don't really respect the act of fair use anymore. But, you know, I'll be doing that over on Kick. I also game over there, so if you're interested in that, I'm a variety streamer. I play all sorts of stuff. I also will go live and talk like this. So if you're interested in that, there's a pinned comment in the chat on YouTube. You can go and follow, and it really helps me out. Okay. No, but like to your point, Kareem, I know you forgot they added Freeman, but I could still see them going out and getting another running back. Absolutely. And I would agree with you. Yeah, P-Train. So they have two backups at right tackle. McClendon can play tackle. He can also move in at guard, and can compete with, you know, Tremaine Ankrum down the line. They like McClendon a lot, and McClendon kind of following the same path of Ankrum, a guy that played in some big time games at Georgia. You know, obviously Ankrum came out of Clemson, played in some big time games, you know, protected Trevor Lawrence and was important there. But, you know, I think that's a good thing to have. And Bloomy says this is a hell of a long stream you've done here. So, fun fact, back when I had the studio, and you guys know if you were following then, back when I had my studio that I would go to off location, I would stream for 3 to 5 hours. And I mean, obviously now it's not easy to do, but you know, we like to go an hour to 2. I mean, that's pretty much what I do. So yeah, this is nothing. I mean, I've streamed for 5 hours for no reason before. Early on, when you're trying to grow and you're trying to get your name out there, and this is before YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels, TikToks, you know, I would just put out that, and then you have X amount of clips that you can make out of your live streams that you can turn into content, which I didn't figure out until a little bit later, but yeah, I used to go live a lot longer. Looking forward to seeing Stetson perform Saturday. Yes, I'm very much looking forward to seeing Stetson. Absolutely. Unholy Spire, I have a feeling they'll wait until roster trimmings before another vet signing. Some poor UDFA will make the 53, then get cut the next day. That is depressing. Don't put that energy out there. No, I'm kidding. But, I mean, sadly, that's the business. And I could see that too. You know, we mentioned Miles Jack and Zach Cunningham in our last live stream. You know, you guys were asking me guys that I would want. And I was like, more so, while I really like John Johnson, I think at that point, while I had heard that that is definitely an opportunity, that is definitely a possibility, I was thinking more like, I actually kind of want to see Russ Yeast. I want to see Quentin Lake. I want to see Jason Taylor work for that starting job next to Jordan Fuller. But now that it's happened, I'm very much glad it happened. Exactly, P-Train. See, you know, when I'm streaming for the draft, 7 hours on day 3, big shout out to Alexis Kraft, who was my co-host for that 4 years in a row. Good Lord. I don't know why we do it. Well, I do know why we do it. I don't know how we do it, but it's fun. It's good stuff. Ant-Man says washed. I don't know if anybody can be washed at 27 with only one injury that it would even be considered major in his 6-year career. I don't know about that. We do it for the pizza. Well, I mean, I like my pizza. The Alexis special pizza is not really for me. Brett Rippon would be the third, I believe, behind Stetson. Yeah. Will Dresser Wynn get any playing time on Saturday? I do not know, but I think Rippon will, and I definitely think Stetson will. Stetson will start. Ethan Evans is the punter. The kicker is Tanner Brown, I believe. Yeah, Tanner Brown. And the long snapper is Alex Ward, who, fun fact, Alex Ward at Central Florida was the guy I said that they should grab during the draft stream. So, yeah, I think the whole thing was he didn't have a botch snap in his entire college career. I think that was his big thing there. Do I believe Stetson is the future? So I really like Stetson Bennett. And like the Baker Bros, who I love, by the way, the Baker Bros were awesome. They helped my channel in a really down year. They made it fun. Baker Mayfield fans are awesome, okay? I think the Stetson Bennett fans are kind of on that level. I've only had great reactions with them. I'm not trying to hurt them. I'm just saying I don't know if Stetson is the guy long term. Do I think it's possible? Absolutely. But I don't know. I mean, they could draft a guy next year for all I know. So I just say, do I believe Stetson is the future? I haven't even seen him play in an NFL game yet, so I can't say that without a question. But I think he's intriguing, and I'm excited to see him. You know, I'm excited to see him play. And excited to see him work, you know, with Sean McVay in this offense. I think there's opportunities here. I think his ability to work outside of structure makes him incredibly interesting. How, you know, he can improvise, and then you have receivers like, if he ever had to be thrown in a pinch, guys like Cooper Kupp, you know, he has those option routes. He can make things happen. If a play breaks down or, you know, whatever, he can get open. You know, I think really Bennett's big thing is that he went to a location where the team that got him wants him to be him. They don't want to turn him into something he's not. You know, the other day I was streaming on Kick, and I was just playing like Overwatch, and I was asked, there was something about like quarterbacks, and I kind of said, you know, like Colin Kaepernick, for instance, whether you love him or you hate him, Colin Kaepernick didn't start struggling until the 49ers told him, hey, you can't run the ball anymore. You have to be more of a pocket passer, right? And I'm of the belief if somebody does something the right way, like that, you know, if they are a running quarterback, for instance, that's what makes them them. You can't take that away from them. You know, maybe you say be a little bit more cautious, but it's like, if you're all of a sudden, you know, the Baltimore Ravens and you're saying Lamar Jackson can't run the ball anymore and he has to throw outside of the pocket or he has to throw inside the pocket, but he can't take off and run, that's not Lamar Jackson. You've just changed him. Jalen Hurts, you know, Patrick Mahomes. Oh, Patrick, even though you're so great operating outside of structure when the play breaks down or you roll out and you find and you use that arm strength, even though you're so great throwing on the run, you can't do that anymore. You know, that's my thing, is that when I look at Bennett and I look at what the Rams have allowed him to do, like, it seems to me, and I could be wrong, you guys are at camp, I'm in upstate New York, so I'm not anywhere near camp right now, but it seems to me in the little things that I've heard, the things that I've seen, is that the Rams are allowing Stetson Bennett to play his brand of football. They're allowing him to play outside of structure. They're allowing him to roll out, and I like that. I like that they're not just trying to make him a pocket passing quarterback. I like that they're embracing his skill set. They're embracing his strengths. They're letting him be him instead of just trying to turn him into the next pocket passer. Because that is, if you want to know whether or not Stetson Bennett will make it, I can't tell you that. I've never seen him play in an NFL game. But if you want to sit there and say that this guy has no chance, I also would push back on that, because we, again, haven't seen him play in an NFL game. But on top of that, I think he went to the best situation possible. Doesn't have to play right away. Sits behind Matthew Stafford. They have a good rapport and chemistry, which is a hard thing to find with a young quarterback and a veteran. You know, so they already like each other. But in addition to that, with Stafford getting days off, this is another thing that's important, guys. Stafford's older, okay? He's not a 27-year-old quarterback that needs every single rep, right? So Stafford is older, and so he gets those days off. And when he gets those days off, opportunity knocks. And guess what? When the opportunity knocks, Stetson Bennett is there to pick that up. So now Stetson Bennett is now getting starting reps, right? So Stetson Bennett gets starting reps. And, you know, that happens because you have 35-year-old Matthew Stafford. And, guys, appreciate you guys being in here. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe. Be sure to hit the like button if you haven't. Be sure to follow me on Kick if you haven't, if you want to do that. But I want to give a shout out to Jeremy Fowler, who was the first, I would say, big media guy to give me a shout out. He said, safety John Johnson III signing a one-year deal to the Rams per source, back to where he started, J.K. Bogan on it. So big thank you to Jeremy Fowler for giving me the shout out there. You know, cool stuff. Adam Schefter retweeted Fowler's tweet, so that's cool. But yeah, cool stuff there. And appreciate you guys, you know. This has been fun. I've never broken. Well, obviously the live stream. Don't get me wrong. We broke the live stream. But I've never broken like a thing where I was on a live stream to do it. And so that's why I wanted to kind of make you guys a part of it. I don't know. It's just kind of a testament to, you know, the growth of this community. You guys are freaking awesome. You know, you guys are awesome. This has been a lot of fun. A lot of fun doing this. I'm glad we went live. Look, I could have sent out a tweet and that would have been great, but you guys know me. I like interacting. I like answering questions. If a big move happens, right, then I want to be able to discuss it with you guys, talk with you guys. It's what a community is all about. I told y'all. Yeah, I don't think there are Browns fans that are upset about him leaving. I understand he signed a big deal and they said he underperformed, but I think this deal is going to work out well. It's a 1-year deal, by the way, to the Rams. So we can confirm 1-year deal, LA Ram. It is out there now. And now, look, I got to also give people credit because, you know, obviously Fowler, shout out to him. But I think the big thing here is, you know, I have to also understand if I'm reporting something, Now, my source was rock freaking solid. I won't get into it. Obviously, I'm never going to reveal my source, right? Well, my source was rock solid, like to the point where I don't need a second source. Okay, this is good. It's gold. And it's why I was so confident Bennett was getting drafted and all of that. But for a Jeremy Fowler and Adam Schefter and Ian Rappaport, like, they're going to have to essentially do some digging, right? Because they don't want to retweet me. And if I have a bad source, then that makes them look bad. So I totally understand it. But it is cool, that, I just got a quote tweet from Ian Rapp. So appreciate Ian on that one. It's kind of funny. I've been following him for years. So, yeah, no, that's pretty awesome. Not going to lie. Thank you, Ascending. Appreciate you. So now that it's official, how happy are we that he is a Ram again? Yeah, worth getting up early for the stream at. Yeah, can you tell I'm a little tired? I got decent amount of sleep because, so what you might not know is if you just follow me on YouTube, like I literally stream just about every night on Kick. So, I mean, I normally get like hardly any sleep, but I decided last night, I was like, you know what? I got a lot of stuff to do. And I'm just gonna, I woke up, I passed out, and then I woke up, and then, essentially I get a text like John Johnson signed with the Rams tomorrow, tweeted out in the AM, and I'm like, oh, okay. And so then I was like, all right, well, we'll plan it out. And so before I went back to bed, I was debating whether or not to go live on Kick. So sorry for those of you who are waiting for me on Kick, because I go live every night. That is why I did not last night. So I was debating it, and then I just decided I made a graphic for John Johnson. I drafted up a tweet that I scheduled for that time, and then I set this live stream to unlisted so no one would, it wouldn't spoil it. And then we just dropped it. So it was can we call this a JK bomb? Is that what we're doing here? JK bomb? Can I get that trending? You guys want to tweet that out? Hashtag that. I don't know. Tag me. Hashtag JK bomb. There we go. Or JE bomb. Let's just do JE bomb. So if I drop news, if I break news, we'll go with JE bomb. Boom. There we go. That's our new thing. I mean, I'm not quite going to have the brand recognition of like LeBron James where, everything is whatever. Le bomb, le breakfast, le lunch, le dinner, le W, none of that. But what's up, LA Rams? Mark Xavier. So this is, all right, this is funny. So Mark Xavier, J.E. Oppenheimer. Oh, Lord. Let's see. So Mark Xavier, right, sends me Gary Klein's former Rams safety John Johnson is at practice as a visitor. At 9:18. So 9:18 p.m. I don't remember when so 8:04 a.m. is when I sent that to you, Mark Xavier. So you sent that to me at 9:18 p.m. I can confirm I had passed out by then. I went to my friend's engagement party. Then I went home after I had some Five Guys, and I just passed the hell out. Right? And then I woke up, I think it was around like 11 or 12, and I was debating whether I wanted to go live, and I check, and I see a text about the John Johnson news. And yeah, so it's funny because I got a lot of DMs about that. But yeah, I'm happy. Very happy. This is cool. Cool stuff. Yeah. Big shout out to Derek A, by the way, on Twitter. I just saw a really nice quote tweet, and it goes to show you, you know, I've had a lot of people in the Rams community that are just freaking awesome. You know, and this just kind of goes to show you. Derek A, I'm much more excited to see J.K. Bogan get credit for this scoop than on J3 coming back. Kudos. See, that's love right there. That's just straight up love. And I appreciate that. There are a lot of people just in the network and in this like industry that are just like genuine people. And that's just cool stuff. I really do appreciate that. Looks like I'll get on Pat McAfee after all. Oh, wait, I was already on it because OBJ and I were talking. That's right. So 43 is not available at the moment, right? So Rashad Torrance II out of Florida, UDFA, has 43. So we were talking about that earlier. You know, what does that look like, right? I mean, I don't know. If you're a UDFA, right? Because we know how this number thing works. Like, you could get the bag. Somebody pays you a lot of money for the jersey number, right? I mean, if I'm Rashad Torrance, I'm a UDFA, am I not trying to sell off that 43 to John Johnson? Come on now. Come on. You got to get that bag. Right? Chat, come on. Am I wrong? Mr. Scampers, appreciate you. We're growing over here. Well, what did John Johnson wear? Oh, he wore 3, right? So, yeah, it wouldn't be 3. So, yeah. I mean, we'll see what happens. What's up, A-Dog? Do I see the Rams signing anyone else for defense to help Aaron Donald or maybe Kareem Hunt for offense? So I saw Kareem Hunt is meeting with the Saints. By the way, appreciate you guys. We hit 1,000 views for this live stream. So thank you. So I saw Kareem Hunt is meeting with the Saints. Unfortunately, Eno Benjamin went down with the season-ending injury. Alvin Kamara, of course, is suspended. So they're meeting. You know, Kareem Hunt is meeting with the Saints. As far as the defensive side, like we talked about a little bit, you know, Robert Quinn. If you want to go another reunion route, boom, there you go. Which is cool. You know, you could go that route. Jadeveon Clowney is a name that I hear a lot. So, you know, Robert Quinn, Jadeveon Clowney. What else? Who else did we talk about? Melvin Ingram. One of you guys mentioned Melvin Ingram. I would give you a shout out, but I already forgot who mentioned him. But yeah, we were talking about a few names. I think the Rams are going to wait this one out. I think this is one of those things where, where is he? I want to give him a shout out. Unholy Spire was saying, I believe it was on Unholy Spire, was saying that if like this is going to come down to like the cut days, and that's when they're most likely going to make another move. Like if they decide to bring in another veteran, you know, pass rusher or whatever, that's when it's going to come. So that's what I would say there. Chase Young would be a godsend for the Rams if Washington waives him or cuts. They're not going to waive or cut him. They'd be a trade. which I wouldn't rule out, but I wouldn't say it's going to happen right now. Getting some pushback on Rams subreddit as everyone is quoting you. They seemingly don't trust you. Yeah. So this is what I'll say about that. Okay. I could be the bigger man here, and I appreciate you guys, but at the end of the day, Rams Reddit was an absolute toxic environment. They never once believed in anything I would do. They never once believed me. There are a few people out there, but those people have since probably come to YouTube, or they, follow me on Twitter or what have you, right? But I've only ever gotten hate from Rams subreddit, so I don't really subscribe to anything they say anyway. And I think, as I've gotten older, when I was 22, when I first started covering this team or whatever, 21, I used to find I used to be offended or whatever. Now I just don't care. Now I'm just like, whatever. I'm going to do me, you do you. If you want to hate in your free time, fine. But I feel bad for you. Look, what it comes down to is, this community has helped me so much that I've built here on YouTube, that I've built on Twitter, that people that, stuck with me through like DTR and, followed me on Rams Wire, people that found me through other streams like, Mr. Scampers found me on a fantasy football show I went on. Those are the people I care about. I'm not gonna really turn my attention to that negativity. And that's the thing, Bloomy. If they want to, attack me or whatever, it's already been confirmed by Schefter, Rappaport, Fowler, Myrov, whatever. I mean, it is what it is. You're doing something right if you have that many haters. So, I mean, yeah. Also, what I tend to find, and I don't know if I should say this, but I'm going to anyway. People tend to get jealous if they're in the space and they weren't the first to do it. So when I broke the throwback uniforms coming back, and when I broke the throwback uniforms coming back, I did have some people that were upset that covered the Rams that didn't give me credit. So I'm kind of used to it, but not going to let that negativity bring us down, right? Nowhere to go but up, right? Like, F them picks, F that negativity. We just keep on keeping on. Jerry, appreciate you. Samuel, I don't want the Rams to trade for nobody. Keep the first round pick. Get the guy in the off-season free agency. Hey, I'm kind of with you there. I've been covering the draft since 2016. And I'll say this right now. I miss having a first round draft pick. Is that okay for me to say? I miss having a first round draft pick. I think that's fair, right? I could say that. Don't get me wrong. I understand it worked out. It did. I'm not saying it didn't, but I wouldn't mind picking in the first round again. It'd be nice, It'd be nice to see the Rams pick in the first round. So, yeah. By the way, sorry about my throat, my voice. I don't know. I don't know if it's bad, but I feel kind of off, but at the same time, we're also feeling good. And on my Twitter, I'm about to mute notifications because I have so many that it's gonna break. It is gonna break. Appreciate you, A-Dog. Yeah, everyone go follow A-Dog if you want to see some awesome reactions to first time listening, different songs and whatnot. You still, if I'm wrong, tell me, but you still have to check out my two favorite bands, A-Dog. I will go crazy if you do. Starset and Ice Nine Kills. I want to see you react to them. I'm calling you out, bro. Tomorrow ain't promised. Get your bread today. That's true. That's real, bearded soul. That is real. Oh, and going back to that Reddit thing real quick. There are still people over there that support me. So that is not geared at you. But for the people that like to hate, keep hating. It's fun. Gets a little boring when everyone likes what you're doing or everyone supports you. Got to keep things open and, you know, go through the ringer a little bit, right? First round defensive line player, O-line 2024. Need a corner. Lots of other people on Reddit very happy to hear the news. See, that's what happens. Focus on the positive people. Don't focus on the negative. That is something we could all be better with. What is it? The quote Tom Holland said in his, I think he said Benedict Cumberbatch told him. It was like, God, I'm totally forgetting. Was if you have a problem with me, text me. If you don't have my number, then you don't know me well enough to have a problem with me. That's the one. I hope we keep our first round pick. Aaron Donald, I don't see us drafting Caleb. Yeah, I don't see Caleb Williams is not going to be an option unless they trade up to get him, which would cost a lot. I don't see it being an option. Plus, I don't even think it's an option to trade up. You think the Cardinals are going to trade Caleb Williams to the Rams? I don't see that. Don't see that at all. So yeah, it'll just be nice, honestly, to just be covering them, like covering the draft, which we do anyway. Alexis and I will be going on year 5 of the draft streams. You know, we do that anyway, but to cover the draft and the first night actually have a chance to see the Rams pick would be really cool. And by the way, which I reported after the draft, because that same rock solid source, appreciate you, LA Rams. That same rock solid source that reached out to me told me that the Rams were, trying to acquire, trying to trade up and get Dalton Kincaid, which I reported. What's his face? The guy who went to the Bengals. Why is his name escaping me? I totally forgot. The pass rusher out of Clemson. Good Lord. Yeah, those are the two guys. Miles Murphy. There we go. Troy Hill, I don't think will be coming back. Eric, that was a big thing. So early on in the offseason, I was told that like between Troy Hill and John Johnson was the most likely to come back. And I'm surprised. Troy Hill still hasn't been signed. I thought he would have been signed by now. He still isn't signed. That's crazy. The Raiders hosted him 2 weeks ago for a visit. Yeah. So the Raiders worked him out. He hasn't had... So I don't see a Troy Hill reunion. I wouldn't rule it out ever, but I think John Johnson... Like, again, it was John Johnson more likely than Troy Hill. That's what I was told. So... Yeah, John Johnson, Jordan Fuller is a good tandem. Yeah, I agree. I don't think they'll be bad enough to get those guys at all. I know people will want them to, but I don't see it. I do not see it. You think he'll play linebacker? I mean, he might play a little. It is kind of a new age, you know, position. I mean, we're seeing more and more of that, so. Oh, hell yeah. Absolutely. You play any Warzone, A-Dog? Definitely. Are you in Discord? By the way, guys, we talked about this yesterday. Let's see here. Why can I never find... Okay, there we go. So we have a Discord server. It's free. If you guys want to be a part of the community, never miss a video, never miss a scoop, because we talked about this yesterday, then definitely go and sign up. It's also free, just like Kick. So yeah, feel free to join that. We'll have plenty of more stuff. I run it currently with my guy, Gary Sheffield Jr. We stream every night on Kick, pretty much together. So, you know, you can find us on there if you want to be a part of that little community. Rashad Evans. Is Rashad Evans a free agent? Is he really not like on a team? Yeah, he is. Damn. 27 years old. I wouldn't mind Rashad Evans if they needed a linebacker. I don't know if they'll go out and get another linebacker, but that's a good one. I like that, Eric. I didn't even think. I was looking at Miles Jack and Zach Cunningham. We talked about that in the last show, but yeah, Rashad Evans would be good. My phone is exploding. Luckily, I am at my desk, so I'm watching it all. I'm watching it all unfold in my my iMessage or whatever, my app. If you don't have, so if you have an iPhone and you don't have a MacBook or something, you are missing out. It's so awesome to be able to reply to texts while I'm at my desk live. It's so much easier than doing this. So, yeah. I mean, I don't know what to know about. I don't know how to feel about Roseboom. I like him. I don't know if like John here. All right, this is what I'll say. Okay, chat, you answer this. If Ernest Jones went down with an injury, okay, and let's hope he doesn't, but if he was done for the year, are you okay with Christian Roseboom starting? And that's your answer. If you're okay with him starting, okay, you don't go out and get Rashad Evans. You don't go out and sign a linebacker. If you feel like the Rams would be okay with him starting, that's all you. But if you are not okay with that, then you're essentially saying that, yeah, linebacker is still a possibility. They could still sign a guy. Because why wait? These guys could be gone. Rashawn Evans should be on a team. That's the thing. He is a special team guy. No, they're not tanking. That's not happening. That's definitely not happening. Jake Hummel and Roseboom. Yeah, how do you feel about those guys? Do you think Jake Hummel and Roseboom are good enough to start? I mean, that's really what it comes down to. If you think they're, yeah, so you don't. So that's the thing. Like, it's about you personally. If you feel like you're good enough, like, this is what I'm talking about the Rams. That's how they're going to react. Where, you know, if they feel like they need to go out and get a guy, they'll go out and do that. That's the point I'm making. Because obviously you and I can't decide who's going to get signed. That is really annoying, by the way. Oh. I just ripped that out. 1 second. Moronic. That was moronic right there. 1 second. Oh, man. I had, like, major OCD with that. That was killing me. I was looking over and I because I can see my monitor and everything, and I was looking over and I saw that I don't know, I didn't like the way it looked. So, all right. Any projection on where offense ranks come the end of the season? Top 5. And I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it as long as you know what. No. Top 5. We should assume is Stafford playing 17 games. This offense is top 5 with a healthy. I already said it. Healthy offensive line. The offensive line, the way it is, the Rams offense, the way it is with Sean McVay should be top 5. It should. Tanking is not an option unless the quarterback class is deep with Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, and healthy Deshaun Watson type quarterbacks. You're hearing Jackson left tackle, Avila left guard, Shelton center, Ankrum right guard, Havenstein right tackle. See, to me, that's a good enough offensive line to get you to top 5. And now the people that don't follow the Rams, like the national people that do not follow the Rams at all, I'm not saying all national people, but people that don't like know the team, they'll say that's a terrible offensive line. I would push back and say I disagree. That's what I would say. I don't see Michael Turk because I think he's the punter, right? Or is he the kicker? Yeah, it's a big offensive line. There's some big bodies in the trenches now. Big time. 100. You guys enjoying our little TV show here? God, I didn't realize 2.5 hours we've been live. Because why the hell not, right? Thank you, Eric. Appreciate you. Got more of that came from. Live stream this Saturday on Bleacher Report. We're going to do a live watch party exclusively with them. We'll be dropping an Off the Edge show, Cam and I. And then I think Alexis and I are going to be recording Downtown Rams at some point this week. So, yeah. Lots of stuff. And, of course, we'll be live streaming later today, playing some games, whether that's Overwatch or Warzone, if you're into that type of thing. Check it out. Link is in the pinned comment in the chat. Kick.com/JKBogan. Takes you 30 seconds to sign up and helps me out a ton. Also, if you follow JK Bogan on Kick and you follow Gary Sheffield Jr. on Kick, we're giving away a jersey, a free jersey. So if you want to get a free NFL jersey going into the season, definitely be sure to sign up. I forgot to mention that. Should be promoting that more. But, you know, there's been a lot, obviously, to focus on. So definitely go and be sure to do that. I'll put the Gary Sheffield Jr. shout out there in the comment section of Kick. So if you get over there, that's his @. But yeah. And I'll get to everyone on Twitter. I'm not going to sit here like while we're live and reply back to everyone, say thank you. But, you know, I'll do that afterwards because I appreciate the support, especially from you guys. People that were in here in this live stream, people that are on Kick, people that are on YouTube, you guys are awesome. I mean, that's really cool because I've never done this before. I've never done an exclusive break, you know, of news on like around in a live stream show. I did it in the middle of a show, but not like this. So, you know, first time for everything, and it worked out pretty well. They're not tanking. Nope. I actually should ban that word at this point. Oh, Michael. Okay, so Michael Turk is a punter and kicker. Well, they're good at both, I think. They really like Tanner Brown. He hasn't missed many kicks, from what I heard. And then they love Ethan Evans. That's their punter. That's their homegrown guy. That's the guy they went out and drafted. So I think they feel pretty good there. All right, let's see here. YouTube. I'm trying to... Can you raid people on YouTube, by the way? Would I be able to do that? Like, I don't know. Like at the end of this stream, can we raid people? You're excited to have Johnson back? Yeah, it should be fun. I really like the pickup. I think it was the right move, if I'm being honest. Definitely the right move there. I got Ian Rappaport to retweet my post. Yes, sir. Accord, appreciate the follow over on Kick. We got 324 followers. That's awesome. Have the Rams announced it yet? I mean, I know it's happening, but I'm curious. They have not announced it yet. Okay. So number 43 is Rashad Torrance II. That's who has number 43. Two wins against the Cards, 1-1 against both Seattle and San Francisco. Losses against the Ravens, Eagles, Bengals, and Saints. Wins against the Browns, Commanders, Colts, Giants, Steelers, Green Bay, and Cowboys. I know that's your prediction. I'll take any questions, comments, anything. We'll go for another 30 minutes. I mean, 3-hour stream. I haven't done one of those in a while for just talking. But yeah, we'll go for another 30 minutes if anyone wants to ask any questions or anything like that. We went live right around this time last week, and it worked out really well. But yeah, I think it was because of Sony Michel. Royce Freeman. We turned Royce Freeman into something like big. That was kind of funny. Like, I'm not trying to crap on Royce Freeman, but like we turned a Royce Freeman signing into like a 180 concurrent viewer stream, which was kind of cool. I don't think they bring back Troy Hill, but I won't say, I'll never say never on that. Bengals with or without Joe? Yeah, I mean, you know. Oh, you're commenting on the last post. You don't need to be sorry. How's it going, Dom? Appreciate you being here. I think in some capacity, some way or another, JJ will wear 43. Some way, shape, or form. Seahawks are working out Chris Garrett today, according to Aaron Wilson. Remember Chris Garrett? Props to Jordan Rodriguez giving me credit under her post. Yes, Rappaport retweeted my tweet. Yep. Healthy Matthew Stafford, dangerous with O-line protection. I believe we will win another ring. Valencia, I don't know if they win another ring this year, but I think they could be back in the Super Bowl within the next 3 years, I would say. I think they really could. I think it's possible. My pick to win the Super Bowl, I have the Bengals over the Lions. I think Joe Burrow and the Bengals get it done. I think they're the best team in the league right now. And I think the Lions are for real. You know, I think we can say what we will. Oh, the Lions, they didn't make the playoffs last year. They got screwed. Let's just call it like it is. They were screwed out of it. If you watch the Rams-Seahawks game, they got screwed out of it. So, you know, I'm of the belief that, you know, at least I think that, yeah, I think that that's going to be the case. I think it'll be Lions and Bengals. I think the AFC title game, it will be the Bengals and Jets. I think the NFC will be the Lions and Eagles. Punt returner. All right, so they were working out at punt returner. Kyron Williams, Tutu Atwell. God, who else? Dom, thank you so much for the donation. Appreciate you. I just probably should call them super chats. That's what they are, but appreciate you nonetheless. Yeah, it was Tutu Atwell, Kyron Williams, Austin Trammell, I think Lance McCutcheon, Puka Nacua, and I think I'm missing out on somebody else. Oh, Xavier Smith. It's either Chiefs or Bengals win the Super Bowl over the Winers. That's what Samuel's saying. Okay. I don't think the 49ers get to the Super Bowl. I don't. Lions fans have been saying if Jared Goff wins one playoff game, he will have a better legacy than Stafford did in Detroit. I would say no, because, you know, I think the thing that's kind of unfair about that statement is this Lions team is probably better than anything Stafford's been around in Detroit. So I just don't think that would be fair. I'll go a step further. I like Jared Goff. I think he deserves credit, and I think he's going to lead him in the Super Bowl. But I would say I'd be more inclined to pick the Lions to win the Super Bowl over the Bengals if they still had Stafford. So that's what I'll say, is that you can say what you will about Jared Goff, and I like Jared Goff, again. But I would be more inclined, because I have the Bengals and Joe Burrow winning it, I would be more inclined to pick the Lions to beat the Bengals in the Super Bowl if Matthew Stafford was still there. So that's how I feel about that statement about, yeah, you know, Jared Goff wins a playoff game and, you know, he has a better legacy. I just don't buy into that. But that's just me. But yeah. Oh, what's up, Scoot? I see you. I feel it's going to be Ravens-Bengals AFC Championship game, and Ravens win. I feel 49ers lose in the divisional round. Cowboys have another wild card exit. Lions beat the Seahawks in the wild card. That's interesting. That is interesting. I don't think I've heard that yet. So you have the Ravens going to the Super Bowl. Oh, interesting. I mean, if Lamar Jackson stays healthy, I think it's definitely a possibility. He's got the most weapons he's ever had. Oh, wow. You have been popping off. Not to mention the PS5. You're all over the place. You're the luckiest man alive. And maybe you should start scratching off lottery tickets like crazy, or entering the Powerball at this point. No, I'm not disappointed in a 1-year contract for John Johnson, because the thing is, John Johnson needs to reset himself on the market. That's really what it comes down to. So this gives him that opportunity. He gets to be back home in LA, which is great. Around people that already know him, trust him and everything. The players like him. And I think it's cool because if the Rams want to bring him back, he plays the safety position. They'll have, $70 million in cap next year? That's going to be plenty of cap to bring him back. And so, no, I feel pretty good about that. Not going to lie. I like that a lot. It's a 1-year deal. Like, would it be better if it was 2? Absolutely. But, I don't mind it being a 1 year, because if he does well enough, he'll get paid. But I also think, the Rams could still afford to pay him. A 2-year deal, maybe 3-year deal, whatever. But, we'll see. I think what the problem is people think this guy is older than he is. He's going to be 28 in December. So, that's what I'll say there. 28 in December. Any thoughts on Cam Akers this year? Yes, lots of them. I think he's going to be a stud. I think he's going to have 1,200 yards rushing. I think he's, going to be a top 10 running back. I mean, I think he's really good. And, even I was guilty of it. Maybe we wanted to rush him a little bit back too quickly, and, thought it was really cool that he came back so quickly, but at the same time didn't really account for the fact that it takes a while to get back into football mindset and football shape. And he just wasn't there. And then at the end of the season, I think he really came on strong. And I've said this so many times, but if you extrapolate, and I know if Gary hears this, he's going to be laughing, but if you extrapolate the last 6 games of the season by Cam Akers, that's a top 3 running back in the NFL over a 17-game season. People who say we should trade for Taylor or sign Zeke Kareem don't understand we aren't in the market for our RB1. Team wants to roll with Cam as our leader and Kyron as the second guy. Did you know Kyron is basically splitting carry? He's not splitting carries, but he's splitting reps with the ones. He's being used quite a bit with the first team. See, okay, I've heard he's too small this, and he's not fast enough this and whatnot, but Matthew Stafford comes out, gives him a lot of credit. There's a lot of good things to take away from Kyron Williams. I think people are sleeping on him. Rams fans are sleeping on him, no doubt about it. That's awesome, Jose. I'm glad you woke up to good news. I've woken up to some good news. I've woken up to some bad news. I think the best news I've woken up to, I slept pretty late, no judging. The Rams were signing Odell. And I was told they were going to sign Odell, but I didn't report on it because I still, even though, a different source, by the way, not this one. Even though there was a moment in time where, this source, so to speak, was like, oh, the Rams are definitely signing Odell, I didn't trust it, which sounds kind of mean, but that I really felt like at one point, even though I was really sure he was going to go to the Rams, I think when it got closer, it just felt more and more like he was going to go to the Packers. So I kind of sat on it, but I did predict him to go there. But yeah, that was probably the best news because I've been an Odell fan, since he's been in the league, But yeah. Yeah, that was tough. I'm a big fan of Floyd, so. Man, we're coming up on 3 hours. 3 hours of live streaming. What's up, Jordan? Peak Rams. Yeah. No, I'm really happy about this signing. Floyd was underrated. I didn't think he was that great in Chicago, and I had some issues with the signing, but he really showed out, I think, with the Rams. And I think the common misconception is that with Leonard Floyd, he only worked out because of Aaron Donald. We hear it all the time about Dante Fowler. Nothing he did matters because Aaron Donald was there. But believe it or not, Leonard Floyd was like top 7 in pressures from the outside linebacker spot. So all the edge defenders, according to PFF, he was like top 7 the last 8 games of the year. All of those games were without Aaron Donald. So that tells me something, you know, tells me he was better than given credit for. And I don't know. I think he deserves some credit, but you know, we'll see. I mean, he's on Buffalo now, I believe, which is kind of crazy. All right. So when I wrap up this show, I kind of want to see something here. Let's see. Is there... All right, chat. Give me a small YouTuber, really small, that is online right now. If you can find somebody that is streaming right now, super small, I will raid them. I'll send everybody over there, and see if we can make their day. How's that sound? I don't know where to even find these people, but Rams, who's live right now? Is anybody live? NFL, let's see. Live NFL. The Buccaneers are live. That's kind of weird. It's early in the morning, though. I don't know. Let's see here. This isn't even loading. What the hell? Trying to find a small streamer. Madden Goat. Wait, that guy's been streaming since 2020? What? What is happening? You want to see another Rams-Eagles NFC Championship game like 0-1? Yeah. Fish, what's up? Appreciate you being here. I believe it's just this here in the chat. Wow, almost, you've watched me for almost an entire day. That's crazy. Guys, be sure to hit the like button if you haven't already. We have 162 likes, so appreciate you. We destroyed our goal. And be sure to hit the subscribe button if you haven't already for more content like this, because we'll have plenty of that. Let's see here. Trying to... Is this... Who is live? I'm trying to raid somebody, but no one's live. Tom Grossi's live. I don't think he needs views, but he's a... Yeah, I mean, oh my god. He's got so many people in there. Good lord. Great news in the morning. We love to hear that. We love to hear that. Wasn't there a website? I think that would be this. Fish. I think it'd be leaderboard, if I'm not mistaken. Boom. I nailed it. So chat, any final thoughts before I head out? I'll be live on Kick later on if you want to go give me a follow to either win a free jersey or you just want to support. Again, it's kick.com/jkbogan. I'll put the link in the chat. Oh, Sacktown Sports is live? Okay. Let's see. How big is Sacktown Sports? All right, they got 7,000 subscribers. Does anyone have a really small YouTube channel that is live that maybe you're subscribed to or whatever? Let's Talk Sports. That's a premiere. Okay, we won't be doing that. All right. Anyone at all? Let's see. Later, Fish. Neil says, welcome back, JJ. Big stuff. Big stuff. Yeah, can someone find me a small YouTuber to raid? I know it's early, but I still want to find somebody before I head out. I was going to do Let's Talk Sports, but I've been on their network before, but they're doing a premiere, so that's not quite what I'm looking for. Tomorrow's the last training camp day? Are we serious? That's it? What's up, Ruiz? Yeah, I'm trying to go either to the Giants or Ravens game too, P-Train. I don't know yet, though. I believe, yes, I agree with you, Johnny. I think Shelton is the best center. Thank you, Brandon. Appreciate you. It's all love. I would want to return the favor. I just can't find any small YouTuber to raid right now. All right, let's see here. I'm not gonna be able to find anybody, am I? Where is, like, cause I don't know. I never see this stuff. Small YouTuber. Does anyone live stream on YouTube anymore? I have like nobody. I know it's early. Okay, 865 are watching Tom Grossi. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, man. I'm trying to find somebody, but oh boy. Oh, Ruiz, I broke the news that John Johnson was signing. That's the recognition that Brandon's talking about. Yep. All right, let's see. So, okay, we'll do Super Talk. All right, guys. I'm going to wrap up the stream. Appreciate you guys being in here. We'll definitely be in touch because I'll be going live again soon. But if you guys could do me a favor and just type raid, like, or just type Jake Ellenbogen sent me. I'm going to send you over to this guy here. Small YouTuber. We want to give him some support. If you want to give him a subscribe or whatever, Super Talk 99.7 WTN. So let's do, I just want to help somebody out. So Super Talk. Oh, wow. Never mind. Because you have to be added to the redirect privilege. You have to add redirect privileges. That's insane. Okay, never mind. We can't. I guess we can't send anything. Maybe if I don't know. Maybe if I do that. Let's see. Any chance? Super talk. All right. Well, I was gonna send a raid to him, but he has his permissions off, I guess. I don't know. I tried. Oh well. Tried to be a good dude. Oh well. Yeah, once again, guys, if you haven't followed me over on Kick, we're gonna have some film breakdowns over there. So please be sure to do that. E for effort. Yeah, right. We'll figure it out. We'll stream, you know, hopefully next time when I'm going offline, there's somebody that's a smaller streamer that is already following me. I'm already following them or whatever, and it's just an easy, I can just raid them. So, thank you guys so much. I hate leaving y'all, and trust me, it's hard too. It's why I've been on the air for 3 hours, but I'm going to go eat since I haven't done that yet. Should probably do that. But you guys be well. I'll be on Kick later today if anyone wants to come through, ask any questions per usual. And yeah, be sure to go and follow there. I'll be on there. And yeah, I think probably later today, maybe even earlier. So, if, you know, I'll be back on playing some Warzone or whatever. But if you guys are interested in that, definitely check it out. If not, no worries. You can follow me at JKBogan on Twitter. But yeah, you guys take care, and I'll see you guys soon. Later, folks. Do you need some energy to get through the day without relying on coffee? I got just the thing for you. It's called Neuro, and I'm partnering up with them for today's video. Neuro has gum and mints to energize, calm, and focus when you need it. They were developed by former athletes who were training at the highest level and simply didn't want to take any mysterious supplements or energy drinks when studying, training, or even going out. Instead of something sugary and ineffective, they wanted to create clean and balanced energy that could be taken anytime and anywhere. Their energy and focus formula is specially formulated with natural caffeine, theanine, and B vitamins to sustain the mental endurance necessary to maintain your focus. Their calm and clarity formula is expertly developed with GABA, vitamin D3, and L-theanine to optimize composure and clarity of mind. Their health and vitality formula is specially infused with life-enhancing, immune-boosting vitamins to help strengthen and support your body. What makes Neuro different? Neuro's gone through dozens of formulations, process, and tests to ensure that each gum and mint they make delivers on their promise of getting you in the right state at the right time. Unlike other heat-extruded gum and mints, Neuro's products are created using cold compression technology, which maintains each ingredient's bioavailability. Neuro is a clean boost of energy without the jitters of coffee or an energy drink. With so many challenges and demands, it can be really hard to stay focused, and Neuro does a great job of keeping you calm, cool, and collected. Stress, fatigue, lack of focus can all impact decision-making abilities. Recently, I had been feeling sluggish and have been distracted with everything going on in my life. These Neuro mints, however, have allowed me to stay on task and have stayed calm, cool, collected, as well as alert, and I've been able to change my approach and focus on the task at hand. Go to my sponsor link now down below, tryneurogum.com/JKB to enjoy energy, calm, and focus whenever you need it. Here's something you could do right now just to save some money. Switch to Mint Mobile. I'm partnering with them for today's video. You might already know Mint Mobile if you've seen those funny ads from Ryan Reynolds, who is an owner. But let me tell you quickly how awesome this service is. Mint Mobile offers premium wireless for as low as $15 per month. And you don't have to sacrifice any coverage, speed, or data. They're built on the nation's largest 5G network. They keep the cost low because they sell directly to you online. Why should you pay more than you have to for access to the same network? I've had a great experience using Mint Mobile, and the thing that I love the most is that unlimited plan. It got me out of a bind on a 23-hour drive down to Florida. I was able to use it, and it was super fast, and I highly recommend it. Lucky for you, switching to Mint is super easy. Thanks to their digital eSIM cards, you can sign up and activate immediately right from your phone from the comfort of your own home. They cut out the retail stores and salespeople. No more standing and waiting around at a big wireless store. You can keep your current device and phone number and easily switch services. And if your phone isn't eSIM compatible, Mint will ship you a new SIM card free of charge. My experience using the eSIM card was relatively simple. I just went into the cellular data and I went to secondary and I put in the eSIM card. It was that easy. All Mint Mobile plans do include unlimited nationwide talk and text, plus lightning fast 5G and free mobile hotspot. Mint will show you how much data you use each month and recommend plans that save you money. Mint also offers a modern family plan that sets you up a super affordable family plan with as little as 2 lines. Use my link in the description to get premium wireless starting as $15 a month at mintmobile.com/JKB. Stop paying more than you need to on your wireless bill and start saving big with Mint Mobile. You ever get those ridiculous social media scams where people pretend to be somebody you're friends with and tell you you can make a lot of money? I know I do. It's why I'm very excited to partner with today's sponsor, Aura. Aura is an easy-to-use app that essentially packages a bunch of services to stay safe online all in one. Aura protects you from scammers and hackers. They scan the web for all sorts of data leaks and alert you as soon as they find anything. Aura is like the offensive line for a quarterback, consistently offering you protection from suspicious and malicious activity. They have a VPN built in that keeps your browsing history and personal information safe and encrypted. They'll even alert you if someone's trying to open up a credit card or a loan in your name. Did I mention they protect all your devices from viruses, malware, spyware, and any other things so the bad guys can't break in? Aura can even manage what your kids do on their devices. You can set limits and restrict them from specific apps. They have a password manager as well, so you don't have to rely on an outdated Rolodex or that sticky note that's been on your desk forever. There are apps that do all of these things, but there isn't one that tackles everything the way Aura does, which is why I say Aura is a 5-man offensive line and you're the quarterback. So head on over to aura.com/JKB. You can find it in the description and start your free trial